Hi, everyone. No fancy intro. Well, I guess I could do one.
You flick too hard, damn it!
Yes,
or not hard enough.
Or not hard enough. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. 12 minutes late, sorry. We were chit-chatting. Lot to talk about today, actually. We've got the Wakanda Forever having a big Monday drop, which everybody's going to ignore, and Hollywood's going to spin, and we're going to be here to cut through the bullshit because that's just what we do. Garrett sent me a really interesting article on Variety VIP. I think I'm going to have to subscribe to just to read it.
Yeah, they keep having good ones behind the paywall, damn it.
Yeah, like usually I can find a mirror site, but I can't. So I'm going to probably, because they got graphs and everything, like visual aids.
Yeah.
About YouTubers and fandoms on YouTube, which it seems like, I don't know if you got the gist out of this article, Garrett, but it seems like they're trying to figure it out. I mean, they're going to come to conclusions like they always do. But
yeah, when I saw the headline, I was like, uh-oh. Deep dive into YouTube fandoms. This is going to be great.
Alt-right trolls. Yeah. So that's fine. That's good. Just, dig your own grave. I'm okay with that. We got Chris Gore here, so we have to ask him about canceling Batman as part of the interview process for G4 and Rings of Power. I'm sure there'll be some Rings of Power stuff. And there was something else, man. There was something else. I'll figure it out later. You can tell I did so much prep. Oh, the young lady who was at the end of my video, Courtney Michelle, had her video removed. The video that was on mine from TikTok. It was removed from TikTok. So we're gonna actually talk about that. Yeah, and whatever stuff we want to talk about. Maybe if we have time, dip back in that. I've been dying to dip back into that New York Times article that Chris sent, which was so good that it actually deserves its own video.
I think Gary, I think I'd definitely do a deep dive into that. The dam is breaking, and people are starting to speak out. I think finally.
Yeah, no, it was the policy of fear, right? It was the policy of fear to because I was asked about that by Amala. On unapologetic, and that was one of the reasons I gave. Is I'm like, there's still people like who hate the woke shit. We hear from them all the time. They're just afraid to lose their jobs, and I think the point I was trying to make is like, is your job that good if you're walking around in fear, afraid to go? That one thing Trump said wasn't that bad, and like that like
fire him.
I'm not, that's not an endorsement of him. Like, if you do, that's great. That's fine. No problem. But you can't even say something like that. You'll be a Nazi and a white supremacist, and it's gotten out of fucking control. And finally, it's having some serious repercussions on Hollywood. And good. Go fucking broke. There are so many fans out there, and I don't blame them all, that are kind of like where I'm at with Twitter. It can either get better or burn up. Either one I'm fine with now. I'm really fine with now because it's gone on too long. But before I go on too long, which I already have. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. It's I'm nearly awake. I'm a little pre-coffee. I have not had a full cup yet. So I'm ready to get started. You can tell I need coffee is where I'm at.
It's all good, brother. I'm on this YouTube lifestyle now, so I don't really get going until like 11 in the morning. I mean, I get up earlier than that, but it takes me 2 hours. I'm just old. I'm old.
Same. Dude,
I don't have that young man energy.
Dude, I take a whole slew of vitamins.
Yes.
Glucosamine is good.
Oh, you got your Monday through.
My vitamin
the dailies.
Vitamin dailies.
Vitamin thing getting like, I used to have this little cup that used to have 2 in them, Chris, and now it has like 7.
Same here. Let's see what else. CoQ10. These are just I usually take vitamins for a little bit. I want to see if they actually do something instead of just like my piss is more orange. Like I want it to actually do something more than that. So the glucosamine definitely works. So exciting conversation on the Nerdrotic Nooner about vitamins for old people.
Coffee and vitamins.
I'm a millionaire. That's cool. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
dang, man.
Damn. Not according to my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm a proud thousandaire, and I'm okay with that.
I like that. Thousandaire.
Yeah. So, Chris, thanks for being here. You'll drink plenty. You can go get more coffee, right?
That I will.
And
Sure.
that's fine. I'm gonna get more too. I'm only on one right now, but I did have. It's also had 2 shots of espresso in it, so I'm doing pretty good, to be honest with you. Right now. So thanks for being here as usual. I know like your time is valuable, and it is truly an honor, and it's still surreal to be live streaming with Chris Gore from G4. It's fucking awesome. Ain't that right? Wow.
Thank you, man. I you know how much I love Batman.
I
just
do
love Batman a lot. So there you go. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Hey, and there's actual hope that we might get like a proper Batman on screen at some point now, which I had given up on completely. So, you know, and it's interesting that the rumor mill is trying to like stir up shit on James Gunn. And like, I think James Gunn's an idiot on Twitter a lot of the time, but I think he's a damn good filmmaker, and he's able to like, well, Ratcatcher 2 is the great example of like one of the most endearing characters in the Suicide Squad, and it shouldn't be. That should just be
Right.
He's got good sensibilities.
She should have been the girl who's the key to everything and all that shit, and they made her like the one of the best characters in that movie.
Yeah.
So that shows the guy's got talent. Not everything, but yeah. Hello, X-Ray Girl. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Let's see. I'm not hungover. I saw someone ask that in the chat. I was doing a Christmas puzzle. I thought it was 1,000-piece puzzle, but it was a 1,500-piece puzzle.
Oh, nice.
I don't even have a single border fully done yet. So I think this is going to take the entire 2 months to do. So that's fun.
I love
yeah,
puzzles.
I love puzzles. It's been a long time since I've done one. And there's snow outside, so I made soup. Vegetable soup.
Snow soup.
Oh,
yeah.
I love this time of year. I really do.
I do. I love it too. It's the
It's
best.
warm and yummy. So
Christmas lights out. Get ready for the turkey, although it's going to cost like 5 times as much.
oh my God. I should make a Christmas tree building stream.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like perfect.
Oh my gosh.
You do all the decorations, just set them all up.
A very thought Christmas.
A thoughty Christmas. Should I get like the cute little like fluffy white trimmed dress? And
Ask your husband. I can't answer that question.
You know what he would say? He'd be like, put it behind at least $100 donations, then put it on.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, listen to your husband. Yeah, that's all that shit. Level 5 only feed or whatever.
Yeah. So knowing him, he'd say something like that, and then I'm okay with it. I guess maybe if he's okay with it, we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited.
Nice
for Christmas. So
I am very excited, and you're gonna watch Christmas Story, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I think that will definitely be my first like movie to watch out of all the Christmas movies.
I'll have like 5. I'll keep it realistic. I'll have 5. You've probably seen some of them, but I'll give you a list of 5 that are like must see Christmas.
The
movie.
Elf. That is my favorite.
Elf. Yeah. Scrooge.
Yeah.
Have you seen Scrooge with Bill Murray?
Oh, that's such a
That's
good
the
movie.
one. You gotta watch that too.
No. Okay, that's on the
You gotta
list.
watch that too.
Okay.
You've seen Christmas Vacation. Yes. What?
Right? No. Okay, put that on the list. Put it on the list.
Dude,
Gremlins. Have you seen Gremlins?
do you celebrate Christmas?
I just saw Gremlins this year.
Okay, good.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes, I do.
I gotta ask.
in case.
Oh,
But yeah, not that many Christmas movies.
your ways are
Apparently,
so strange in Canada. I don't.
my
understand.
ways.
They're mysterious.
I'm Canadian. I'm not even real Canadian.
The mysterious North. Die Hard. Have you seen Die Hard?
I watched the 4th one.
What?
Well, you got to watch the first. What? How do you start with the
You
fourth
seen
one?
Batman Returns?
Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
It's gonna be a great Christmas for you, X-Ray Girl. It's gonna be great.
It
Is Batman Returns a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
During
okay.
Takes place during Christmas. So
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, There we go. We got lots of movies to watch, y'all.
Muppets Xmas. You're right. Yeah. Like, all right. Maybe it's a list of 10, folks.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Bad Santa. Don't forget Bad Santa.
I think I watched that one. That's where he has the fun times in the change room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the opening of Scrooge is so good with Lee
Dude,
Major.
have you seen the trailer for Violent Night? It's straight up just that trailer at the beginning of Scrooge. I was like, wait, we've made it. We've made it.
David Harbour is a good actor, and then you hear that socialist moron when he's in an interview, and he's just like, oh my god, he's got like man bun ponytail. I know you probably identify with him. And I'll admit it looks dumber on him.
I cut it off. It's gone.
It does on you. But yeah, it's like, oh god, you know, he's such a. I just don't want to ever hear him in an interview again.
Don't ever open your mouth outside of a movie.
But damn, is he stupid. Okay, Scrooge, Die Hard, Muppets Christmas Carol, The Grinch, the 2018 Grinch.
2018 Grinch. That's probably the one I watched.
That's one with Jim Carrey.
That's the Illumination one.
Oh, right. Yeah, I never liked
the Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus. That's
classic.
Good. Miracle on 34th Street. That's a must. That's a must.
Yeah.
There's so many. I think it just changed to 15 movies, one per day.
Don't forget It's a Wonderful Life. That movie is the point of a lot of controversy too, which is weird.
Rambo is a Christmas movie.
Rambo.
Did one of the Rambo movies?
Is it?
I know the first one's like winter.
Well, Shane Black likes to set his movies during Christmas.
That's true.
Yeah. So, all right. Hey, let's say hi to everybody before we get started. DW's here. William Hayes, Hobo, Sermons, Red Terror 1978, Titan Pax, Grand Admiral Adam, James Hollingshead, Bastard is here with his wrench. You're not a bastard to me. William Hayes. Did I say that name already? I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Now there's some names I just can't pronounce because I'm dumb. Loopy Locust, Scott McKenzie. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome, Nerdrotics. And oh, look, she was streaming with my wife last night. They were talking about gay vampires or whatever the hell they were talking about. I mean, I hear ya, aren't all vampires gay? And I'm maybe, but
a little bit. You live long enough, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I'd be able to live that long though.
Yeah, I think I'd stake myself.
Yeah. Well, it would suck not to eat food. You know what I mean? That would be bad.
It would suck.
Living that long and like all you can eat is like blood. So like you'd have to find different ways to like prepare your blood, I guess. It'd be just kind of boring. Yeah, living that long would be bad. So we have, I don't know if we can find that video of that girl. We watched it yesterday. Let's see if we can.
Let's see. I still have it.
Of the girl saying, yeah, let's do the TikTok girl first, and then we'll do the girl who talked about her interview process at G4.
Okay, let me get that.
Yeah, because we've got the follow-up where she said, yeah, what is that? Nope, that's not it. Where'd it go? I just saw it on Bounding into Comics. It disappeared.
I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Okay,
on,
good.
Discord.
Here we go. Excuse us. Here, go for it. Pull it up. Whip it out.
Where is it playing on my screen? Oh, here it is. Okay. Stop talking, lady. I'm trying to send you. Okay. I'm
taking a break from guarding my local theater for the POCs to see Wakanda, but when I resume my duties, I will ask everyone if they believe Batman should be canceled. Only true SJWs may enter. Bradley Burnett, thank you for the $10. All right, so here's her original. This is again, I am Courtney Michelle. I guess it's on Instagram, and she's also on YouTube, but apparently this video is not on TikTok anymore.
You hear?
No.
Why?
I hear nothing.
You bummer. Let me do it again. Present. File.
I don't think she said anything really controversial. I think she said everything everybody has been saying for a long time in Marvel, and it's just it became noticeable in Wakanda Forever when.
So I just left seeing.
It could be a double-edged sword when you make something a movement, when you when you try to create a cultural moment out of thin air that profits the company greatly. And I highly doubt Disney put that money back into Black communities, helped any countries in Africa. I'm pretty sure they pocketed it and invested it to make more shitty Marvel product. So it's when something like this comes out that wakes people up to that.
So I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed. I am pissed because if pushing an agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm gonna believe 100-pound Black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak. But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong Black woman and a subservient Black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So, nah, I'm good on Wakanda. Where all the men.
Holy wow.
Oh, wow.
You know what I say? You know what I think, Gary? I like her.
I like her.
I almost put that clip at the end. I like it. I almost did it.
Oh man, you should have done that.
I should have. No, the only thing I'll amend is anytime you put your life in anyone's hands, whether they look like you or not, you are you got to do what a boss says. If you sign up for a contract, especially when it comes to Hollywood, yeah, you have to do what they say, and they're gonna make you go against your values a lot. And one of the biggest problems in Hollywood is not the executives who force shit on them. It's the people who are willing to, I'll be whatever you need me to be. Who it was as an editor, one of the most frustrating things was motherfuckers, men and women who would go out and edit for free. And it's just like you if you want to do that, fine, but you devalue the entire profession. You're doing it for exposure, and that's how Hollywood fucks over a lot of people. If you're really good at editing, it's a skill that you deserve to get paid for a certain amount, and it gets completely undercut by people who are just willing to go, basically whore themselves out for nothing. And yeah, that's why I was like, wow, there's just, there's so many fucking editors in Hollywood. You throw a rock, you're going to land. It's going to land on somebody in post. It's going to land on somebody in post in that town. And it's just watered down. So yeah, that's the same problem with actors, same problem. So it's very easy to get people to do what these executives want them to do. Very easy, because there's so much competition. They don't fucking need you. They don't need you.
Yep. And they let you know that.
Yeah. Oh, they let you know that.
Go, we'll just replace you. So
this
do
sounds
it.
like dating.
If that's what dating's like, I'm not dating.
Horrible.
It is. Yeah. A lot of women don't value themselves for what they should be and just throw themselves willy-nilly out there. But that's feminism too, apparently.
Chris, how fun is it working in well, you're independent sphere, so like there's always gonna be a place for it. It's shrinking, but there's always gonna be a place for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I mostly am familiar with the indie film world, right?
Mhm.
Like indie film is kind of like my passion, you know. Hollywood can be good when you've got like creative people who are just willing to put up with shit and get something across the finish line that's worthwhile. But I've worked in both worlds, right? Like I did a couple shows for FX. I was on a show called The X Show in the late 90s. Which was kind of like the competition was the Man Show, but this show was more like The View. I was just the movie guy. You know, then I did my own show for FNT.
Remember that?
Yeah, God, that was way back in the day. And then Mark DiCarlo was on that show. It was great. I learned a lot. It was like my first doing television just because someone thought that shit that I wrote on the internet was funny. So they're like, well, just do that, but on TV. It's like, all right. So, and then, but I will say that like probably my most satisfying experience was being on G4 because for the most part, with restrictions, with some guidelines, you know, I couldn't swear, although I could mispronounce swear words. I got away with that. Like I would say that like Joel Schumacher's a shithid, and I was able to say that, and I got that past legal.
No, it checks out.
But yeah, like, you know, with some, you know, restrictions, I got to be myself on television, which was the first time I was able to do that. My previous experiences with TV, like, oh, we got to hip him up. I'd have like wardrobe tests and like, why are we going through all this? Like, I'm just a schlumpy nerd, you know, who knows a lot of nerd stuff, but whatever, you know? So, but no, my experience at G4 was from where I sat because I had control over my segment, right? Like I could say what I wanted within reason, right? And my opinion was my opinion. Sometimes they would ask me like, this is, I'll tell you a little behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes they'd ask me like, well, what do you think of this movie? Did you like it or hate it? And I'd say, well, I fucking hate it. I think it's terrible. And they're like, oh shit, we're doing a promotion with Universal, right? We've got this like tie-in with Universal. They wouldn't tell me, here's what was cool. They wouldn't tell me to not say it. What they'd say is, we're just going to have you review that movie next week when the promotion's over. So that was like the one compromise. Like, all right, my opinion's not going to change. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to softball it. But yeah, they would just have me review it at another time, right? Like, because they were doing some tie-in. But that was it. Really, like no one told me what to say. I would basically send in notes and they would put it on cards and it was like what I thought. And there you go. But which was, you know, most TV that you do see, whether it's like, you know, a late night show or some talk show in particular, just a lot of the late night shows, everything is produced.
Yeah, it's all scripted.
It's all scripted. No matter how much you see, like, oh, they're having a casual conversation on a couch. All of that is not scripted like to the word, to the letter, right?
Yeah.
But like there's an outline and there is and you can tell sometimes the actors that aren't very good at that, because just because an actor is good in a movie doesn't mean they're good in a fake casual conversation. But I found that most television was that, like, whether it's, and I'm telling you this, whether it's the news or entertainment news, most TV that you see when it's like the round table, it's like, because God, I did this show and it was one of the producers on the show. I'm not going to say the person's name, but they had worked on the Bill Maher show, Politically Incorrect. And famously, that show, they would have freelance writers. I had a friend who was one of the freelance writers. They would fax in jokes. And if they used the joke on the show, they got paid. And the jokes were just given to the talent. Like, you know, if we're talking about, you know, a particular person or whatever, here's a funny thing you could say if the timing's wrong. So
that kind of stuff always bothers me because we do some of the we did some of that on the show I used to be on. And I would never do it because I don't like the jokes that
Wire,
I'm
right? That was Daily Wire you were on?
yeah, it was somewhere over there. One of those things. And it would be like, oh yeah, okay, well you're gonna say this, and then this person's gonna say this other thing over here, and it's gonna be a joke. And I'm like, but it doesn't feel natural because we're in a natural environment where we're supposed to be talking to each other, and it feels weird to then cut to, okay, now I say this, you say that, now you say that. So it just never worked for me.
Well, it's different
And,
if it's
I felt like I could always.
Dude, getting Landau was so good for the show. Though.
It was the best.
That dude can just sling a joke whenever, and they're like 95% of the time they're pretty fucking funny. So
yeah, and he's natural. He's a natural.
Dude, the guy is so good.
But I think it depends on the producer. Like, you know, you can, and if you've also got good people that are really experienced, they don't need to. You know, that material can be used as a backup, but it's not something. It's just prep. But when they overproduce, and I've seen and I've talked to produce, I'm like, I'll just say back off. You're being too micromanaging. You know, micromanaging is my least favorite management style. I don't like to micromanage other people. I like to put people in a position. I trust them and then let them do, you know, give some guidance here and there, but let them, you know, be in control of their own thing. Micromanaging sucks.
Yeah, it blows. It really kind of takes like the natural conversation away whenever you have to then go, okay, well now say this joke, or here's a bunch of stuff that you need to say before the show. Like a lot of those late nights, like you were saying, they're all scripted in the fact that like they sit there and they're like, oh, did I hear somewhere that you have a special talent? What's that talent? Oh, I can fart in my armpit. It's like, it's what, you know, it's like they have the weird, it just doesn't feel natural. And I think audiences now, because they watch so much YouTube, they see people react or like on their screen, real people, they can sniff out whenever they're faking it. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of stuff like late night shows kind of lose their magic, because people go, wait, well, that's all false. Right. I know that you guys aren't really friends. You're not really talking about this. You're just trying to promote whatever you're trying to promote.
Yep. The audience, well, I mean, yeah, YouTube broke that. Like YouTube broke it, and Twitch and all social media broke that. And what I was talking about yesterday or day before yesterday to Amal is like, we're the competition now. And it's not just like me and Chris, and it's everybody in the chat. It's you guys participating in whatever social medias you participate in. You're part of that too. I guarantee you more people are going to trust Andy G, who is here, his review than anything from Variety anymore. Like they'll just go to Twitter and see what real people are saying, and or YouTube. And I mean, shit, I tell the story a lot, but when I started, I was with Dennis, and we were reviewing Happy, and I think we had 30 people watching our show, 40 watching our live streams of Happy. They get like 1,000. One of the actresses from the show was watching our live stream. We just chit-chatted with her. She was cool as hell. The first season of Happy is really good. The second one, not so much. But first season of Happy, it's a Christmas story, by the way.
It is. Yeah, that's right.
Pretty sick and twisted, but it's good. It's good.
It's a good show. I did really like the first season. Second season went off the rails.
Freaking Patton Oswalt's voice, though. I can't listen to it anymore, and it sucks. They were so
a distinctive voice too.
Derek was so happy. It's funny. I'll tell the story. What the hell? Like, it's weird that Patton got on that show, because Patton and Derek Robertson, the co-creator, used to hang out, and Patton big time Derek like multiple times, like just absolutely big timed him. Even
That's
though
his MO.
They hung out and he stayed at his place and all this stuff. Yeah, that's Patton's. Patton's a phony, big fucking phony.
I met him once. I met him once. He recognized me at South by Southwest because he used to be a film threat reader. I mean, he is a legit, real film nerd. I mean, he wrote a book about it.
Yeah,
you know. But I don't know. But I also think it's not particularly original. Meaning, like
he went Hollywood.
He's just like very loud, and you see this happen to people. You see that like they become a version of themselves that is conducive to being hired a lot.
Yep.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So you kind of
sellable.
Yeah. When you do that, I think you lose a bit of authenticity, and
I think you lose a lot. And I think that's an old model that's dying. Thankfully, I mean, you know, Saturday Night Live has to be credited. I hate to do it, but for putting Chappelle on, like, and not giving a fuck. You know, that's like more companies need to do that. And like Chappelle, I love Chappelle. Okay, I think he's really good. I just don't think he's the savior everybody thinks he is. I think he is I see him as the system's officially approved objector. Okay, that's the way I see
a little
it.
bit like how he described Trump in a funny way, where he described Trump as going out and saying, "Hey, we're doing everything that you think we're doing." And then he went back in and played the game. That's what Dave Chappelle's doing. He's going, "Hey, audience, we're doing everything that you think we are doing." And then he goes right back in and plays the game.
And yeah, Chappelle's extremely good at playing the game. He hangs out with Obama. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that there's a certain amount of official approval there that other comedians would not get away with. You know, you don't see SNL or any of these late night shows bringing on any like true edgy comedians. Remember when like David Letterman used to bring on edgy comedians?
Yeah.
You know, Bill Hicks used to be on late night shows. Like that shit won't happen now. It won't. Ryan, for 100 British pounds, or is that euros? Ooh. I don't want to insult you, Ryan.
I think that's euros.
I'm getting yeah. It's well, it's about equal with the dollar now, but that's thanks to our country. So I apologize, Ryan. It's a damn shame. And thank you, by the way. It's a damn shame what Disney has done to Star Wars, because you can tell Tony Gilroy is really trying to do right with Andor. It's well done and extremely ingenious vantage point to see things play out prior to New Hope. Once again, it's a shame. Yeah, I have nothing against Tony Gilroy at all. I just don't care about Juan Solo. I don't care about fucking around before, after, in between a world where the guy I followed turned into a fucking coward, and my favorite character regressed into a fucking moron. Yep. And oh well, same goes for Princess Leia. By the way, they turned her into a fucking moron too. Before the passing of Carrie Fisher, and Chris has brought it up. It's the biggest mistake in cinematic history.
Yeah,
like, Disney should be punished forever for this. Anybody involved in this decision should be barred from creativity for at least the rest of their lives.
It was almost like they actively knew it was a choice, and they went the other way. They said, "Let's not get them in the same room."
Yep,
that's literally my only question for Kathleen Kennedy or anyone who works at Lucasfilm. Why did you choose to not reunite the most beloved trio in movie history after decades and have them in at least one scene together? It is unconscionable. Yeah. And you have to sit and talk. We're making the Star Wars sequels. You mean Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill are back as those characters? And then you choose to not put Luke in the first freaking movie. It's awful. It's to deprive fans of that moment is sick in favor of your dumb new characters. Okay. And some of those characters were not too bad. They were just like used incorrectly, didn't have payoffs. It's unbelievable what they set up. And I hated The Force Awakens. I hated it for that reason. I hated it for the way that Harrison Ford, Han Solo, died. He died. I did a whole video where I just rant about it. That's on the Film Courage channel. Like, what's the correct way to kill off an iconic character? Well, let's think about that for a minute. It's not about the character dying because they're dead. It's about the reaction of the people who love that character, right? Yeah. So if you're going to kill Han Solo, you want Princess Leia and you want Luke Skywalker to be there to witness that, to see how they feel and react to that moment. Literally, Luke is the dumbest moment in The Last Jedi when he's just like, "Where's Han?" And okay, where's Han? That's it. That's all we get. It's stupid. Now, contrast that with the death of Spock in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, where in an act of self-sacrifice, Spock has given his life because the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, a thread throughout the movie. He has a moment with Kirk where, he's got the Vulcan sign through the glass, the protective glass. He's dying in front of his eyes, McCoy is there too. I'm getting chills just describing a thing that I saw when I was a kid that blew my mind. How could you kill Spock? But it was because the people he loved were there. And the way that they killed Han Solo in Force Awakens, I knew these sequels are going to fucking suck. They're going to suck. And by the end, fans were united in their disdain for that terrible last movie, The Rise of Skywalker. So I really knew things were off the rails when, you know, they were pushing all these new characters and Han Solo was like a sort of loser divorced dad. You'd think he would have been changed by his experience. He was changed in Return of the Jedi, right? He became a more, you know, he's expressing his love for Princess Leia. They have that moment, like he's a general now. Like,
yeah, he's responsible.
A little bit different than hanging out with his old drinking buddy Chewie, right? Like, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's the biggest missed opportunity in movie history. And after that, I really feel like everyone who was involved in creatively should have been let go. And these little scrapes, and, you know, we talk about Andor, Kenobi was terrible. Like, it's done. They have failed. Yep. Everyone at Lucasfilm has failed. All these little spin-offs, no one gives a shit about the Acolyte. That's fanfic. That's fucking fanfic. No one cares. Okay. No one cares about that. So I don't know. They're just, it's literally like a body in the desert, and they're picking scrapes of meat off and throwing you member berries and whatnot. It's I mean, I'm just obviously I'm angry about it. I'm offended. I was deprived at that moment because, and you know, Gary, when you were a kid and you saw Star Wars, you made up adventures in your head, and they were better than what we saw.
Well, the movies told you, they said, screw off. Your theories are stupid. Because you came out with the first movie. You had so many baffling things, like Luke being not in the movie at all, not even saying a word. Han Solo getting killed by his son. All these things, and you go, well, there's got to be an explanation, right? Surely they didn't not plan this. There's no way. So then everybody goes, okay, what's the theory? There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. And then they said, no, fuck you. No, screw off.
Look, you know what? When I was a kid, I didn't collect Star Wars anything. I played with it. I bought action figures, ripped them out of the box, tossed the box away, and played with them in my backyard. And they were dirty and filthy, and they broke, and I loved it. And it was great. And now, I mean, do kids play with this stuff? They don't care. The generation that grew up playing with tactile things, toys, is now on their fucking devices, which is why we have this generation of emotionally stunted children in adult bodies that are it's just this weak-willed generation that is sort of destroying the experience of even discussion on the internet. I'm talking about Twitter for the most part, or the morons you see on TikTok. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what we're witnessing in front of our eyes. The whole just destruction of a generation of kids. That I think part of it also is just like, what, you know, where are heroes in our world anymore, right? I mean, not just forget heroes at the movies, because they're not there. They don't exist. They just kill them off, like in Wakanda Forever. Kill off your heroes. Nah, we don't have any. There are no, I mean, where are the heroes even in like, in, you know, the media that you could look up to, right? Like people who, I think there's a lot of people like having these conversations right now, right here on YouTube, right? I think that's the secret sauce and the success of YouTube is authenticity and being able to speak freely. I feel more free to speak my mind here than on any social media platform. I don't use Facebook, rarely. Instagram once in a while, and Twitter when I just feel like I'm still here. I'm still here. That's pretty much what I tweet. I still have a Twitter account. Yeah. But I don't know. Gary, I haven't finished my coffee. I'm still angry.
That's good. Well, it's years. We're still angry because we knew how this would turn out. We know that, well, I mean, with all the factors. By the way, Ryan, thank you for the 100 euros. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
We knew, oh shit, they just fucked up Han and Luke.
Right.
This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be effing bad. And that's when it became
the Force is female now.
So predictable. They made like all of this stuff happened right. Star Trek Discovery, Doctor Who, Last Jedi, Star Wars, all happened within a year and a half of each other, basically. Maybe 2. We'll stretch it to 2 years. 2 years. They started the destruction of 3 major franchises all at once. And we're like, nothing's safe. Nothing's safe. And here we are on the cusp of national treasure. Women go to history, whatever the hell it's called. I mean, it's like, oh shit.
It's so cringe, man. And then you see the rumors of Indiana Jones being replaced with that new archaeologist woman. It's like it's the same play over and over and over.
That would, I mean, I would laugh at this point. But for one,
it's hilarious.
There's already been a shitty Indiana Jones movie that I completely refuse to believe exists, and that was made by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. So I can't imagine this one being good. I just can't. And I love James Mangold as a director. I think he's a psychopath. Poor Matthew Kadish, pointed out like one little thing that's obvious, like, hey, don't hurt Harrison Ford. He's old. He's really, really fucking old. He's 80. Like, what's he gonna do? Or is he gonna be we like Indiana Jones when he goes under cars and jumps on shit. He ain't doing that when he's 80. He's just not.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna have Phoebe Waller-Bridge doing all that stuff and leading him around by his nose. Yeah, I saw this in Picard season 1. It's just pathetic, and you can't replace Indiana Jones. It is a Harrison Ford property, just like Terminator is an Arnold Schwarzenegger property. Okay, you just can't do this. It's like Predator is an Arnold Schwarzenegger is one fucking movie basically. Okay, they've been trying to make a franchise out of for years. So that we'll see what happens. The director's denying it completely, but
yeah.
Who knows? I would not be surprised at all. I mean, like everything we've seen from Disney, would you be surprised to see this? I wouldn't.
It's the same play. They just did it with Black Panther.
God, but Phoebe Waller-Bridge, could they get like?
I know.
I'm sorry. I know like Fleabag plays well to a lot of certain people, but Indiana Jones fans are not going to take to her very well. Like sanctimonious, annoying another British brunette, by the way, Kathleen Kennedy. Oh man. Who knew? Like she was just angry the whole time. The whole time she was working for Spielberg and her husband, she was just fucking angry. You can tell. There's a lot of pent up stuff.
These men doing all these creative things.
Mendings.
I wish I could be creative. Yeah. I'll just buy their property.
It shows you it's not that easy, right? It's not that easy. They Spielberg and Lucas, they make the things that they do look easy because it was this constant churning out. I mean, now look, they're in the sunset of their careers. And Spielberg, I'm about to see The Fabelmans tonight. And I've heard mixed from a lot of people. It looks self-indulgent, it looks
super self-indulgent. It looks like a vanity project. Like it looks like Steven Spielberg's masturbating in the mirror. Okay. That's
right.
Just what it looks
like. Go either way. It could be really good. It could be sometimes, I look at stuff like that and I think, oh, well, it depends. But a big budget version of self-indulgence is usually not great. So there you go.
Nope. Spielberg had his time. It was great, and he helped. He completely abandoned like a genre. Do you even want to say that he created?
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason pop culture is here is because of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Period. And then he married his Yoko Ono, Kate Capshaw. They adopted like 97 children. One of them who went into porn. And the last good movie he made was Saving Private Ryan. So
it was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's kind of tragic is it seems that Hollywood, instead of going, hey, look at these directors that created so many great films inspired by genres that they were inspired like before that they grew up with, like the serials and Flash Gordon and stuff like that, instead of taking those and going, let's make new stuff inspired by these great movies that are made by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, they're like, let's just keep making those movies over and over and over and over and over, instead of going, hey, I like Star Wars, and it's like we're seeing Shad out here writing a new space opera inspired by the world of Star Wars, but doing something new. And that's what we need to do. We need to not make a new Indiana Jones. We need to make a new adventure. That's something different.
Well, when they like, even like when Star Wars came out, Hollywood just they made everything fucking sci-fi, and like some shit came out. But we also got some good stuff. But at least they were trying something new, trying to emulate Star Wars and not just straight up copy. Like Battlestar Galactica was called a straight up copy. And aside from the effects, it really wasn't. They had a rogue, but they used Egyptian and Greek mythology and ancient astronaut stuff to make a sci-fi. I still think the concept is fucking great. So we got a lot of good out of it. We got a lot of good out of it. Now, like nothing, like I'm excited about a stupid like kaiju troll movie coming out on Netflix because like it's just different,
It's something different,
something a little different. That's all, and that's coming out of the foreign market now. We're just the foreign market's doing more interesting things.
And Gary, I'm excited. You can imagine I'd be very excited. This is breaking news, everyone. RRR2 is in development.
Of course,
they're actually doing RRR2. This
RRR.
You need to RRR.
Yes.
Garrett, you need to see this movie. It's Hollywood. This is why this movie's become a phenomenon. Where they just did screenings in Chicago last weekend and videos, of course, of certain moments from you see the crowd reaction. I haven't seen a movie with a reaction from an audience like that not since Endgame was close, but Endgame wasn't even this big. That's how amazing it is. And this is why this film director is being so revered by Hollywood, because he's making a kind of movie Hollywood used to be able to make that somehow they can't do anymore. And it's really, when you look at the movie, it's pretty much like an old Hollywood values. It's got romance, friendship, non-homosexual. It's just like, of course there's going to be the articles that say, well, the two characters are gay, which is so, can we just not make everything gay?
Men
not
can't be friends anymore.
Go tell that to the culture of India, because they express. There's parts of the world where men will hold hands, but they're not gay. That's
right.
Just part of the culture.
Just bros, but not that kind of bro.
And it's interesting when I hear my British friends, like Mahler, not as, and others, like European lore says this a lot. Like, stop impressing your fucking American politics on on us, on the rest of the world. And I think we Americans fail to see that like a lot of this woke shit is just here, and we're impressing it on a lot of other places that are like, fuck this shit, it's stupid.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people here are also saying, fuck this shit, it's stupid.
Yes. There are. I still think we're the majority, but we still need to mobilize and do a lot of stuff. A lot of work is done.
This is the time not to rest on your laurels. Whenever you start getting some wins, you start seeing the Hollywood decline, and you start, okay, I'll just relax now. It's like, no, don't go out and pay for those movies. Don't support them, because then they'll just come back and eat you again. They'll take that as an opportunity to go, oh, wait, we were wrong. They love this stuff.
Hey, Black Panther solved racism, and then it didn't. And then Wakanda Forever was going to solve racism until one particular black woman didn't like it and got removed from fucking TikTok. So this is Courtney.
Chinese psyop.
Yeah, I'm not even on it. I think my wife is.
Wait, okay, so that video that we watched, it was removed.
She's gonna.
Why? What are the reasons? There's no hateful language. There's no she's, I've never used this word. She's a little extra, but I'm just trying it out and see if I'm able to use a word like that. But I thought it was fine. That's her opinion. She's welcome to have that opinion. Isn't that what that?
Absolutely. That's
not on TikTok.
Not on TikTok. So let's hear what she's got to say. By the way, thanks for Bounding into Comics. They brought her to my attention. So hail John F. Trent, Bounding into Comics. Love you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it would help if I have my
about Wakanda. So yesterday I made a post about Wakanda Forever and how I thought that
it's echoing.
Yeah, you don't have to share audio.
Yeah.
But I do have to share audio. I had to do it yesterday.
It was very weird. Yesterday you had to. No.
And now I don't have to.
StreamYards, what's up?
Do we mute ourselves? What's
No, it's good. It's good. I got it now. There we go.
Oh my god, I love Garrett's new picture for his like off-camera photo. It's dude, it's
I'm
perfect.
a Telecon now.
Somebody was like saying I haven't fixed my avatar on my like. What are you talking about? My avatar looks fine.
It's your logo. It's great.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
It looks perfectly centered and everything. I mean, there's another one that's a little off, but
looks good, man.
Thanks. Never going to change it, by the way. Here we go.
So yesterday I made a post about Wakanda Forever and how I thought that it perpetuated the idea of the strong, independent Black woman and the feminization and the emasculation of Black men. Posted it on TikTok. And this is what I got. I got a violation. Okay, they removed my video. Now, mind you, it was hitting about almost 100K, and then they removed it because of my opinion. I didn't attack anyone. I didn't make any kind of derogatory slurs. But because I gave my opinion on what I think is being propagated through the media time and time again of Black people, I got a violation. If y'all don't see the silencing of people's opinion that's different and that not willing to go with the go along, get along gang, and I'm going to obviously appeal, but I was hot. Who am I discriminating against? I'm a Black woman. I can talk about Black people. I'm hot.
Good for him. Well, good. I hope she appealed it. And welcome to it.
Yeah. I like her.
I like her.
I like her.
I like this one.
On FNT, Gary. She'd be great. Get her on.
Hey, go. She's on YouTube too, and I don't know about any of her stuff, but everybody's opinion should be allowed. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Yeah. So it sucks that happened to her, but that's also, I think it's one of those what do the woke fucks say? It's a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment. There's your little red pill right there for how much this shit is happening and how ticky-tack it is when you're protecting a fucking Disney Marvel movie that's not very good. Josiah Rises did a video a couple days ago, and I doubt the audience scores change. I doubt it will change for this. It'll probably stay at 95%.
It's locked.
In other places it's not, and objectively this isn't a very good movie. It's just not. Now, varying degrees of how much you liked it or not. Some people say 5 out of 10. I say I don't usually grade, but I would say 2 or 3 out of 10 at best. It's not worse than the Eternals. The Eternals is shit. But I think it's down there. It's
very, very like
in the realm.
It's in the realm.
Very low bar, middle of the road. Like, it had like one good scene, and the music's fire. I like some of the music. I was jamming out while I was editing the video. I was jamming out to some of that African hoodoo music,
Yeah, I can't do that. You can. Stuff, Angela Bassett's looking good though. Woo!
Yeah,
hell yeah.
She's looking good.
And Winston Duke made me want to eat carrots.
Yeah. Winston Duke was great. I thought he was good. It's like you had good actors in a really stupid, crappy movie.
Where did all the dudes go?
Yeah,
he's the only one.
There is no dudes in this movie. It's a parody at this point. I remember Not Another Team movie, and like, dude, they could do Not Another Marvel movie, and
yes,
it would be hilarious. And just like at the end, have like thousands of women and a dude.
It's the in-game and they're all women just coming through the portals.
Messiah has to make that now.
Can someone please do that?
Yeah, Messiah has to make it.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
I did a parody film years ago.
Did. Yes,
I did
you
a movie
did.
called My Big Fat Independent Movie. I did
Yes, you did.
back in the day, and that's a mix. I mean, it's really about, you got to get good casting, and like you really need like good comedy writers. I give myself like a C plus maybe on that movie, but it's not an easy type of film to make. So that is ripe for it. Like, a genre is dead when they do a parody film, right? Like when Blazing Saddles came out, that was like, that was early 70s, but that was the end of the Western, right? Like Westerns had been around a long time, and that put the nail, I mean, in Westerns as a genre. I mean, we've seen some great Westerns since then, but it's not like a
dominant genre.
Yeah. It's not an ongoing thing where there's like, well, what's the next Western coming out? It's like, no, it's like every couple of years a good one comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not solid, but yeah, you could do not another Marvel movie. I mean, oh God, dude, Gary, that's a very good idea. You should. I bet if you crowdfunded it, you'd probably raise $1 million. But
we need, like, you're right, like top-notch comedy writers.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
a lot of them out of work right now.
Kurt Metzger.
Yeah, we know some people.
Yeah, we know some people. Chrissy Mayer.
Dude,
we know some folks. I don't think the actors would have to be great. I just don't. I mean, they'd have to have good comedic timing.
Yeah, it's like Airplane. A ton of the people in that, they were kind of like not huge names. You only had but Leslie Nielsen, like he was the only big name.
Robert Hayes, come on, Robert Hayes.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
From San Diego.
You had some in there, but like you really need, it's really all on the writing. It's in the writing where you make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, timing,
good actors. That's where you really focus it.
Comedic timing would be everything, and that's tough. But maybe like
Clifton. We get Clifton Duncan in there.
Oh, Clifton Duncan would. I got a idea for him that I can't say right now. Oh, he'd do it too. He'd totally do it. I love it. Sometimes he'll message me and go, "Your thumbnails, dude." Harry. But if we could do like maybe like a short version.
Yeah.
We could do a short. I mean, maybe George would be interested in getting something like this rolling. But I do think it's something you could crowdfund. And like almost as like a proof of concept, like do a trailer maybe, right? Sort of a mix between a trailer and a short film, something like 5 minutes that kind of tells you like what it is. Like, have you ever seen that trailer for Grayson? I love that trailer.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's so good.
I bought that on DVD back in the day at a con.
Oh man, that thing is like, that's like a proof of concept for a story that the filmmaker wanted to do. But you could do something like that. I mean, I'm surprised no one's doing that right now, right? Like they're all trying to develop comic book properties, but doing some sort of parody film that would be like a Marvel DC. You could even include like sort of break out the reality of the movie and actually show the executives in Hollywood. So it's like partially you're seeing the movie, but then you're seeing like the behind the scenes of, people at the studio.
And then after the trailer, there's a post credit scene.
You hyper
another one.
Like I a propensity to like do all superhero movies. No, I would hyper focus on Disney Marvel. That's the it would straight up be Disney. Yeah. And we just think of another name for Disney, call it Pissney or whatever you want to call it, and it'd be a rat, like a giant rat.
Yeah, it's like a dirty, gross rat.
Dirty, gross rat. And just I like, we're just spitballing here. I could think of a much better name, but it'd be funny because Epic Movie did. Yeah, I remember Epic Movie, but
they did a superhero version of that, but it was like early in the superhero genre.
Yeah. We need a new. Well, for one, I mean, the world needs another Blazing Saddles. I've always said for woke culture, like how that movie is not being made right now. It would be the funniest fucking shit ever made because woke culture is the lowest hanging fruit I've ever seen. And you could just rip on it for 2 hours and you'd have people pissing their pants.
Yeah. Oh, Ricky Rat. Ricky Rat is already a thing. That's true.
Yeah, Ricky Rat. Well, we'd have to do something.
We get Alex Stein. Alex Stein's the mascot.
Alex Stein would be the Kevin Feige. Of,
Yeah.
Oh, Alex Stein would have to be in the movie. He would
Yeah.
have
Oh
to
yeah,
be in it.
100%.
Oh my god. Oh, he would be so good.
He would be so good as the Kevin Feige of it.
And also you have him do bald makeup, but he wears a baseball cap on top.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time he's got a baseball cap and he's bald. Oh my god. It would be great. He'd
Yes.
probably shave his head. Forget the makeup.
He'd probably just
go
go hard.
I think he'd shave his entire body for a role. I mean,
Right.
he commits to the bit. That's his whole deal.
I love it.
Does he have a show coming out? He has a show.
Yeah, he's got a show on the Blaze.
The Blaze, yeah.
Yeah.
When that comes out, I'm just subscribing just to watch that. I gotta see
Just
it.
for him.
Yeah.
They're smart to be on the Blaze. There you go. He's a pimp on a blimp. That's what he is. He was at Mar-a-Lago, dude, for that little thing that happened last night.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't,
just
see,
a
it.
little
I didn't
thing.
see it, and I was searching for news about it.
Oh, dude,
couldn't
It's
find
totally
it.
buried. It's totally buried.
you're gonna find it on mainstream. That's for sure. It was on Fox. I saw it in the gym. I mean, like, listen, I listened to 10 minutes of the speech and I went to the gym and I was listening to Jeremy and Ryan, their live stream pretty much.
Mhm.
But I was just rocking
There's
out.
some things in it that I was
Vicky at the gym.
didn't like what he was saying. I agree with Adam. There was he said that death penalty for drug dealers. I was like, I don't know.
There's nuance to that though. So what he was very non-specific. What he meant was the fentanyl. Yeah, I'm not a death penalty guy, period. So
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm down for death penalty for bad guys, but we got to make sure they're bad guys. a lot of those,
if you
what are
mess
you
with
gonna
children,
take a
if you
weed
mess with
dealer?
children up against the wall, but the state having the power to kill people freaks me out a little bit.
That is true. That is true. And they get it wrong. They do get it wrong.
Yep. And I've been in there with bad people. I know they're like irredeemable, bad fucking people. Just lock them in a fucking room. It sucks that we got to feed them, but their lives suck. Their lives do suck. Because they don't get to run around with the regular prison people. They go to Pelican Bay in California, which is a fucked up place to be. You don't want to be there. So it's a messed up life. And they get to suffer. They get to suffer. They get to see on TV. See, part of the giving prisoners TV is to make them suffer a little bit because they get to see the world they never get to participate in again.
That's gonna be
Every
rough.
day. So it's crueler in a lot of ways, especially when it's mostly solitary. Except for the hippies who want to let them out. That's not good.
I don't know what you're talking about. That seems to be working out pretty well.
Oh yeah, great. I was in a Max for a year. I didn't meet an innocent motherfucker in there. I didn't, including myself. So yeah, there's a lot of bad people out there. Deserve to be doing some time. Can't play nice. Get the fuck out. What's the next? Okay, so we got that. Oh, well, let's do the VIP thing. I'll read some super chats. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then we'll do Chris's reaction to the G4 thingamadoodle.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard about that. Oh man.
Link Williams for $49.99. Thank you very much. Says back Critical Drinkers Project. I backed Critical Drinkers Project. Thanks for the link. Because you cannot find it. Do any search on any Kickstarter. It's not on Kickstarter. It's on Indiegogo. Tried all kinds of searches and nothing came up. Shadow banning is real. All hail independence. There is shadow banning going on Indiegogo, and it might be time to start thinking about doing what. I brought this up to because you brought it up, Chris. You brought it up, and I brought it up to Eric. It's like, sublease your site to be the new Indiegogo. Let other people do.
Yeah.
And, why doesn't he do that? I'm like, he built this platform. He spent a lot of money with programmers to build a platform that works. because I'm sure that Eric July looked at all the other platforms. And look, I did a crowdfund with Indiegogo. I thought they were terrible. I don't know why people still use it. I prefer Kickstarter. I've done 2 successful and 2 unsuccessful at Kickstarter. I think, but you have to go about it strategically differently because of the philosophical differences between Indiegogo. But why doesn't Eric just create his own he has the platform. He can take a cut. I mean, they take like 9%, right? Like
so Eric takes like 3 or 4 because he's starting out, and
processing maybe 5 or 6 even is less. Like, just you license the platform out, create, like, it's for creators, vet the projects, don't just let anything on it.
Yeah, I think that's what it would, at least if I had that platform, I would be like, okay, I got to make sure that every single campaign that's on here is legit and going to provide the product by the end.
So that will
they're going to run it like I did.
That's your trade. You get a little bit less, you get more money, but you got to be good enough to be on it. That's and Eric has no fucking problem telling people if they're good or not. And I think start with like 5. Just take 5 projects on. That's it. And I'm sure he, like, once he gets his books out and gets things running and has a staff there to where he can start going back to YouTube, that'll probably happen. Like right now, like here at Nerdrotic, we're still in the building phase. Like, my office isn't done. My website's not done. I'm not fully moved into my house yet. This shit takes time. Okay. Cause we have to make content and everything stops to make content. Especially when it was Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
Power 2 months that just absolutely took over my life. It's nice. Like, it's so nice. Like, last night I watched a movie and I was like, I have time to watch a movie. It's great. It was nice. But no, I completely empathize with Eric. He's way busier than I've ever been. So, like, he'll eventually get to it. But yeah, it sounds like Indiegogo's kind of starting to suck. Not surprised. San Francisco company, probably hitting some hard financial times. I don't know if it's all political or it's like they just fired a bunch of staff and they don't have the staff to do it. It could be either one.
But ton of companies firing a lot of staff.
Your boy Zach has a great campaign out from Splatto Comics. Your boy Zach from Comics Matter, although I think Diversity in Comics was a better name for his channel. Chuck Dixon and Sylvester Stallone are writing First Kill, a prequel to Rambo, and Critical Drinker is also writing a story. And there's a bundle that you can get, and we'll share the links out. Drinker also has a film that he's working on, a short film based on his books. So yeah, and they're both doing very, very well. So thank you for your support. And he thanks you for his support. And I will be on Open Bar tomorrow. For a couple hours after my interview with Blabs. I have an interview with Blabs. I got to make a video too. Gotta happen. That'll happen today. Oh God. I just want to get that one right. Okay. Bradley Burnett has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you very much. For $50. And Namorvisky for $19.99. I lost my best buddy and dog of 11 years earlier this week. Oh shit. His poor heart gave out on him way too soon. How old was he? Dare I even ask? Thank you all for providing a much needed distraction with your videos. Hail Scooter and hail to the fellowship and hail to you. Hail to you, man. That happened. Sorry to hear that happened. Here we go. We got this variety. It's got graphs and everything. Do I want to pull up the graphs though?
Look at this graph.
Look at these charts. We have charts.
I
might have to
numbers.
Like, where's the rest of this article? Oh, click here to get the full report.
Yeah, you got to click it.
And I got the full report. That's weird. But it's just like it's like special report. It's like a bunch of images. Let's see if I can. It's like 28 pages of images. Oh, here it is. Oh my God, it's long.
Yes.
Woo!
Clip that. That was perfect. It was clear.
Fuck off. All right. Well, we'll kind of like breeze over this as much as we can, but basically, MCU is algorithm gold. That's what it's saying. It's like, I could have told you that. You don't need a big chart. I just saying, If you tell the truth about the MCU, people will listen. That's pretty much it. All right, where are we go?
Oh man,
out, Chris, this is on Variety VIP. What's up? You said, "Oh man."
I got it up. Yeah. Do you need me to?
Oh, you do it. Yeah, you can do it.
Whip it out for you.
Whip it out.
Let me not share audio.
Right. So let me read the intro to this. You keep that up. I'll just read the intro.
Okay.
And this is top entertainment franchises on YouTube, a special report, new VIP analysis, how the biggest film and TV IP engages fans, keeps them hooked, and turns them into creators on the platform. So are you saying that the IP now presently is turning like, no, a lot of us were fans before these giant corporations had these stupid, had these IPs that they turned stupid. Long before the internet existed, here we go. Franchises ruled. Fans' original user-generated content, UGC. God, I hate fucking corporate terms. Hot takes appeared in homemade magazines, often photocopied and stapled together. It's called a zine, right, Chris? It's called a zine.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You have a magazine. It's called Film Threat.
Well, it was
right?
a magazine. 80s
was
and
a
90s.
magazine. Yeah.
Was a magazine until the paper crisis of 1996. That's a whole other story. But yeah, no.
Was there a paper crisis?
There was. I have a theory about it because a lot of magazines in the late 90s went under, and they were all alternative magazines. Like, I was a magazine junkie back in the day. This is before websites were really worthwhile, but they were all like they were like magazines like The Nose in San Francisco, Spy Magazine. Like these were not huge magazines. Yeah, these were magazines that had like hundreds of thousands of, sold hundreds of thousands, but not millions. In any case, I think it was an effort to push alternative media out of the marketplace. So there was this crazy paper crisis in the late 90s, almost double the price of paper. And a lot of places that were doing lower runs, like under 100,000, and Film Threat was in that arena, about 60,000 copies at the end. Like, you can't compete. When you double the price, like I can't, unless I double the price of the magazine, it doesn't make sense. So it was late 90s. It was like a slaughter. It was like a purge, right? And yeah, it's right
before the internet took over too. I mean,
yeah. Well, the other thing is they could have grown. A lot of it was like due to like deforestation. They could have grown a non-carcinogen, like a version of hemp that didn't get you high that they could have used for paper, and the U.S. government wouldn't allow it.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's again, it was a way to like when you see like certain messaging is just not allowed to get out there. Like, I mean, you've told me like you don't even see my tweets, like it has to, it's, and that's why I just don't care about that platform. It's like, look, if I'm not able to participate, I'm not gonna be there.
Dude, it was like somebody I rarely interact with. Like, I haven't interacted with this person in 2 years. It's just a friend who's got major TDS. I see his tweets all the time, and I never see yours. I don't see Ryan's. I don't see Jeremy's, and I interact with you guys.
Yeah, it is really strange how that happens on Twitter. Sometimes
like
your algorithm will just
tweet
the same person over and over
in front of my face all the time, and he's just ripping on Trump all the time. It's like, dude, come on. And I'm not like, I don't mute or block anybody. I just scroll past it. It's whatever. It's his opinion. But like, dude, I get like, that's the first shit I see all the time. All right. So today, hot takes appeared in homemade magazines, often photocopied and stapled together. Today, there's YouTube, where fans can post their passions for all things media in millions of videos that range from full-fledged DIY movies to clips under 30 seconds of video games based on films or TV shows. I'm curious to see like what Variety, like you're writing about the meteor that's descending on you right now.
How does that feel, Variety?
How does that make you feel? You went to school and got that piece of paper that you thought was so important, so you can make a lot less than some girl live streaming in front of 50,000 people playing Minecraft. You know, think fan expression, adore, and marketing all rolled into one. Yes, the franchise owners and corporations may release content as trailers, interviews, or more, but across the board, those official contributions are dwarfed by the conversations devotees are having with one another. And yet, the marketing departments in corporate America have yet to figure it out. They can't. Partially because you're hiring stupid people. That's Eric July did this a long time ago. He just went to LinkedIn and found the marketing director. This was a couple years ago, so it's probably a new one by now. A marketing director for Warner Brothers. And it was just like fresh out of college and, you know,
wow.
25-year-old girl. You know, it's like, and it doesn't matter, guy or girl, it didn't matter. Like fresh out of college, like, you're gonna tell me you understand fandom. Okay. You know, I would like take Chris Gore out to lunch and I would pick his brain. If I was like a guy like David Zaslav, apparently that's what he does. He's taking people out to lunch and picking their brain. Chris Gore right here. Take that dude out to lunch, take him to a nice lunch, whatever he wants, and pick his brain. And you would benefit from it. So which movie and TV franchises dominate the UGC? What was UGC again? Fuck, stupid acronyms. User generated content.
The UGC
landscape, and which deliver the most bang for their buck, as in engagements, an overarching term for likes and comments using data from content analytics and tech firm Vobile. What's Vobile? Oh, that's the name of the company. Okay. Officer, presenter of the fan domination. That's in quotes. That's what you see right here. Fan domination. Well, I hate to break this to you. The fans have always dominated these things. That's why they exist. This might come as a surprise to Hollywood, but Star Wars doesn't exist because of Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, Kathleen Kennedy. It started with George Lucas, and the fans made it worth billions of dollars. End of story. Special report. VIP dug into the most popular franchises on YouTube by tracking the output of fans turned creators. Spoiler alert, tops among all franchises is the Marvel Cinematic Universe with 6.2 million videos. One of the more helpful tools that YouTube has when we're posting our videos is those little hashtags on the bottom. And I don't know if they do any good, but when you put the hashtag on the bottom, you see how many videos are made about that hashtag right below it. So that determines like how I pick a hashtag. Like instead of Wakanda Forever, I chose Black Panther because Black Panther had like 10 times more videos made about it than Wakanda Forever. Probably because it's not a very good title. It's a shitty title. Black Panther 2 would have been a better title than Wakanda Forever. Okay. It's a terrible title. Better get that. So the MCU is tops, but for a little while, Rings of Power dominated. Absolutely dominated, especially with the lead up and then the first couple of episodes. And then when people, this is how you can judge how people are actually engaging in something. No doubt the MCU is one of the most engaged things in the entertainment sphere on YouTube. It has been for a long time. But Rings of Power, there was a lot of interest in it until about the second or third week when people watched the show and went, fuck this. I'm out. And you could see it. You could see the interest just go. So 6.2 million videos and 7.7 billion engagements. Videos involving the MCU across categories such as fan skits, listicles. I hate listicles, vlogs, and spoofs. I like spoofs. Trounce, even number 2 on the list, the DC Extended Universe, which is now the DCU, by the way. Fan culture has long been a powerful tool for understanding what keeps a particular franchise or individual project a valuable source of ongoing revenue and IP. Oh God, I'm falling asleep. IP. Trusting exactly what draws followers can be much bigger and more esoteric challenge. Yeah, you can't just look at fucking pie charts. Who was talking about this yesterday? I want to give him credit, even if I don't like him. I think it was Campia. But or Robert Meyer Burnett. I think it was Robert Meyer Burnett talking about it was RMB. Creativity has to be driven by your instincts, by your gut. It cannot be driven by fucking pie charts. It just doesn't fucking work. This channel is run purely by my gut. I don't look at analytics or any of that shit ever. Ever. I just go, what am I interested in? What do I feel passionate about? I talk to the guys. We make a video. The guys being Perry and Quarterblack have creative freedom to put in stuff they want to edit, and they put in their takes through the edits as well. And that's what we do. We don't, I don't look at anything, No. Well, never have. I know it's probably
stupid. Funny enough, that's how these original franchises were created.
Yes,
they were created by creative people that don't look at pie charts and go, what? Let's see, what would work best? A man that is made out of a spider. He does spider things. Yes, okay, that's what the analytics say. That's what the user generated content. A lot of people seem to like Spider-Man. So let's go out and make a spider. No, he went, hey, look, what's interesting? Let's make a bunch of superheroes.
Well,
looks like it works. People like it.
Here's
cool.
Stan Lee's story of the creation of Spider-Man. It was like a fly on a fucking
he's like he got inspired.
Stan Lee was like a well of creativity that I don't think he was even aware of. Maybe he was attached to whatever, the Matrix. But he'd just get I don't want to do origins anymore. Let's make up the X-Men. I saw a fly. There was already a fly man, and let's do a Spider-Man. That was it. It wasn't like we broke down the data analytics between male and female and non-binary audiences, and we broke down that the most aesthetically pleasing replacement for Iron Man would be Ironheart.
If you look at this pie chart over here,
it will be a teenage young POC girl of science. Okay, that's how shit's created now. Regardless, there's no question fans will always want to fan together in a fractured niche entertainment universe. Chris, would you argue that that's what it's always been? Probably that's where it should be. Comic books are niche. They're super niche. Star Trek is niche. I don't think Star Trek will ever have. No, it's been proven. Star Trek will never have the mass appeal of Star Wars. It just won't.
Yeah, it won't. And they've gutted it into. As soon as they did Wrath of Khan, then that kind of, while it is like the best Star Trek movie, it kind of broke the Star Trek as a movie franchise, because then it became all about, well, who's the villain of this movie? And Star Trek wasn't always about that, right? It explored ideas, and it was true science fiction, at least like back, it was wagon train to the stars, as Gene Roddenberry used to say, but
arguably Undiscovered Country is just as good as Star Trek 2, in my opinion.
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That was the last Star Trek movie. I mean, I mean 7 whatever generations. I know. Had a good score. It had a good score, but
great score. Really fantastic score. Oh my God, it's good. It
was so good. But it's weird. Like, this stuff is niche, but I don't know. Like, that's what I like about it, like, cause it's, that's what I used to love about going to conventions, is just waiting in line for something. And you find out the person next to you also knows about this run of a comic that you read that like changed your life, like, God, I mean, it was just like when I was a kid, it was riding my bike up to the drugstore to go to the rack of comics. And I knew, I think it was like, was it Tuesday? It was like the new comic book day, whatever. And I always want to get there early because I didn't want one that was too creased to come out of that stack. It was just like, it was awesome. So,
dude, the spinner rack I have in my room, like I I'll never forget the day. It's seared in my mind. The day I bought my mom bought me my first comic book, the Marvel Team Up 42, Spider-Man and Vision, in the early 70s at a 7-Eleven on Rancho Santa Fe Road in San Marcos, a 7-Eleven that's still there. It doesn't sell comics anymore. And then like you'd also like be able to like look out of the corner of your eye at the Playboy covers and the Penthouse covers, and then like be able to look at Heavy Metal magazine, which had boobs. They were drawn, but it had boobs. And that was my journey in the comic books.
Wow. But yeah, no, but also it's like the experience too, especially when you read comic books as a kid. It's the act of doing it, what you're doing while you're reading the comic, right? I remember just like eating certain types of candy or food, like while I'm eating and reading the comic, and then also riding my bike. The smell of the comic, I love the smell of a newsprint. And also, like when you're done reading the comic part of it, there's the letters section. So then you read that. There's the ads. I always wanted to get one of those 6-foot submarines. I never got it, but I did order some stuff from the Johnson Smith Company. So, and I recently got a book. There's a book that goes through all those ads, and they show you what you actually got when you ordered from those ads. And that 6-foot submarine, just like a piece of cardboard garbage. It was bad. But
the Army Men, we got the Army Men, the Sea Monkeys and the Army Men because they were kind of cheap.
You
got that box of green Army Men, which was fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know, play with those things all the time. Back when we played with toys that
need to do that again.
Articulation at all. There was 0 points of articulation, and we were just entertained. Okay, so fan culture's been around. It's valuable. Regardless, there's no question fans will always want. Okay, I read that one. So just some of the media insights here, detailed marketing strategies for capitalizing on fan culture. Well, Hollywood, you have failed. And the fact that you're trying, the Variety is trying to figure this out now, we're at the end. You're at the end of the era of the nerd, of the fandom. It's on the decline. That's just a fact. Like Warner Brothers got their shit together a little late. I mean, it's good. I think a Superman movie will do well. But I said this at the very beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, if this thing goes on too long, theaters are fucked. The movie is fucked. And what Hollywood needs to do is this sure thing. And 2 sure things came out. Top Gun Maverick, which did way better than I thought it would, but I thought it would do well because it looked pretty good. And Spider-Man No Way Home, which was just a no-brainer. It's like, get all the 3 Spider-Man together and just make all the money. And that's what you need to continue doing. Forget this crap introducing Z-list characters, excuse me, in Marvel. Bring back Cap, bring back Iron Man right fucking now. Like, you need the real Avengers. A proper Hulk, do a proper Planet Hulk. It would be great if you adapted it. Well, it's a little late now because you kind of fucked it up, but like figure out a way. Make the Fantastic Four look like the Fantastic Four in the comic books, which Disney will just not do. They just won't do. I would be utterly shocked if they made them look like they did in the comics, but that's not happening, folks. So you got that graph up.
Looking at this graph, this seems a little. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on. This looks manufactured to me.
Oh, it has to be
this massive of a gap. I mean, I know the MCU is huge, and it's still huge, even with really bad content. It's really huge, but this seems like kind of ridiculous.
Monthly views. Well, it depends on when they're looking. Does it have a? This is from 2019
to now to August.
It may be, but they're also, I mean, like, we're included in this. So there has been a lot of talk about how shitty Marvel
That is true. Yeah, it's just it's interactions. It's not good or bad.
Yeah, are these impressions or views? What does it say? Big difference. Big difference. Big difference.
It doesn't say.
So
it says views. It says monthly views.
It's views. Okay. There's a lot of
there's a lot of videos on how bad it's been.
But to get you all on the other side of that, the reason like a lot of the quote unquote movie space people have been bitching about us is because we're here. We're just here, and they see the contrary opinion, which I would call honesty, as a bit of a threat to the space they think they own, which they don't. I don't own the space. They don't own the space. YouTube owns the space, and there's plenty of space for both of us. There's plenty of space. You don't hear me. You don't hear Jeremy. You don't hear Quarterblack. You don't hear Chris Gore. You don't hear any of us as saying John Campea shouldn't be here. You would never hear me say that.
No.
John Campea has his place. He's got his people. We share subscribers. Great. Have the contract. That's fine. I have no problem. I'll disagree with him a lot, but he absolutely should be here, doing as well as he possibly can. But there are people out there who just think we should be silenced. You saw that young lady get take off of TikTok just for saying, "Where are the man?" Which is funny.
Where are the man?
That's what I don't get, and that's what I find upsetting. And this is why I became more of a fan of you and among others in 2018 after Last Jedi, and all where you were being attacked for that. And I'm like, wait, a guy has a different opinion from yours and you want to just go after him for that? An opinion about a movie? An opinion you're allowed to have? Like that pissed me off. And I like to watch YouTube. I don't agree with this person, but I'll watch and like, that's an interesting or I hadn't considered that. Or, I like to learn something. I don't learn it necessarily always by just going to people, that I agree with, but I love the quote diversity of the conversation. Yeah. And that's a new thing. That's a thing that like, this is what I don't like is like, look, you're allowed to have a different opinion about a thing. My opinion doesn't invalidate your opinion.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Something in like 2015, 2016 changed. It went from people just having opinions, because there's always been critics. There's always been videos on YouTube going, "Hey, I like this movie. I don't like this movie. Here's my nitpicks. Here are my big gripes with it." But all of a sudden it became, you're a Nazi for not liking Star Wars. And it's like, what the hell? I think that's why a lot of people jumped in and started, making content too, because they were like, this is ridiculous. Why are you making this some weird political thing whenever I don't like this movie because it destroyed something I loved. Right. Or I don't like this movie because it's just a bad written movie. It's a poorly written movie. I don't like it. Here are my reasons. Oh, well, you must be a misogynist. I just said, whenever they announced that the Pirates of the Caribbean with Harley Quinn, whatever her name is, was canceled, I just retweeted it and said, "Ha." And somebody was like, "Misogyny doesn't look good on you." I was like, what are you talking about?
Margot Robbie's hot as hell. Oh,
I ain't got no problem with Margot Robbie.
Yeah. But Johnny Depp is Pirates. And like, even when he was in it, it was diminishing returns. But I think if he did one now, it'd be a fucking huge hit. I think it'd be a massive hit.
Yeah. It'd be a bigger hit than the last few that
he ain't gonna work with. Like, Disney would have to bend so many knees to him, and like, good for Johnny for people preface like Johnny isn't nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Johnny was in a bad relationship, and he probably wasn't an angel all the time, but I think it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt who the monster in that relationship was. Guys get into that too. Gary, excellent time on Unapologetic. Amala knew her stuff and did her homework. She knows her shit. She did.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
The fellowship. Yeah. What would you add to say after thinking about the conversation and invite her on FNT? The invitation, we had a little conversation afterwards. I can't say what it was about, but I need to get back to her because I didn't thank her for having me on, and the invitation will be sent out. Absolutely. Here's the thing with FNT, Scott, and thank you, by the way, for the $10. And this is not besmirching anybody. It's not for everybody. FNT is not for everybody. It's a crucible. It is, you're in there and you are with 9 people and it's a little crazy. So like maybe a show like this is better for some people, and I'm not saying it's that way for she could probably hang, as far as I know, but we get turned down. And like it's totally understandable, and I don't hold it against anybody because it's a bit of, it's nuts. Friday Night Tights is nuts. It's supposed to be nuts, but that's why we got Real BBC. That's why we got Nooners. And they're welcome here too. So yeah, we will definitely get her on the channel. She was fantastic and great to talk to. I had a really good time on that on Unapologetic. Go check it out. Please subscribe to her too as well. She is very good at what she does.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Like, and she came across not like somebody that didn't know what she was talking about, and she just brought somebody on because somebody told her to. Like, she knew what she was talking about. She had the facts. So yeah,
she was on Dr.
I liked her a lot.
Right? She was on Dr. Phil debating the professor about.
I had never heard of her until you said that you were going on.
I was watching clips of her on Dr. Phil, like owning some professor. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah. No, she knows her shit.
Her channel's Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. It's part of PragerU. Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic. I had a really good time. So thank you for watching it. I really appreciate it. FNT speaks to the real nerd, not Hollywood's definition. Yes, thank you, Darth Sidious. Because we are, and I think the most important part. Jeremy said this. Ryan, like I do not give a flying fuck about talking to celebs or anybody. People like reach out. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but there will never be a filter. They need to be ready for tough questions and stuff like, how is it working in woke fucking Hollywood? Like how much have you had to compromise? Like it would be tough. And I don't think we're at a place yet where people are going to be wanting to jump on FNT who work in Hollywood. I don't know. I don't think that'll ever happen, but you never know.
Well, the format of FNT is really, when you think about it, it's just nerds standing around talking. You used to do this all the time at your workplace or wherever you'd hang out at the bar after work with your friends and talk about whatever the latest thing were. Like that's all FNT is. We're just a bunch of dudes that are talking about that. What's going on. It's not a show necessarily,
It's exactly the kind of conversations I've had at conventions. It's, look, when you go to the comic book store, it takes me less than 10 minutes to pick out my comics, but I spend 2 hours at the comic book store because I'm talking to people, right? That's why I'm buying a comic book at a comic book store. Although I did have a subscription to the Fantastic Four when I was a kid. And I was so mad, Gary. Do you remember this? If you got a subscription to Marvel Comics when you were a kid, they would fold the comic and then they would mail it to you with like a brown wrapper folded. So they,
yeah, no, it'd be in a roll or it'd be, like I would get mine in a roll or it'd be folded. Yes, it was.
I did not like that. I mean, I just wanted to read every issue, but man, that's the thing that worries me the most is how. Not if the Fantastic Four will be bad, but how bad will it be based on modern Marvel? I don't think this whole theory of like, well, Kevin Feige's doing all this woke stuff because when he goes to do Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel, he can do it his way. No, I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares anymore.
No, he doesn't. Sorry, I was looking up her. Yeah, actually, Dave Rubin covered it. So she was on Dr. Phil taking on a professor about cultural appropriation. That was it. She fucking owned him. It was great. It was great. But yeah, Dave Rubin covered it. Okay, so we got a chart. Let's go to the next chart. Oh God, that's TLDR. Sum this up for me. My ADD cannot handle that.
Monthly views over the past 3 years. So this is over the same thing. This is just for Marvel. So I'm guessing they're going to do each one for, DC. Their breakdown each one individually.
Yeah. So this is like a parrot. If I'm getting this correctly, and I will like later on read it all for probably a video. But what I'm getting is they're kind of taking a parrot analytics approach to this, which is it doesn't matter what people are talking about. It's people are talking about it. And there's your mistake right there. If that's the approach they're taking, that's your biggest fucking mistake, because it really does need to be broken down between positive and negative. It does. Or as I like to say, honest. Break down just the honesty, which you can't put in a graph. You have to watch it. You have to check out the person and see if they're real. And like, listen, there are some people who genuinely like this stuff. We're not talking about you. If you genuinely like it, great. Don't let me ruin your good time. But, like Miss Marvel is on the upper tick. People didn't watch that fucking show. Like they just didn't. Now, if they were talking about it, then it must have been, some people pointing out that she's kind of the poster child for SJW Marvel. I'm thinking those are the videos that did better. Then you have Emergency Awesome, who basically just recaps the show, talks about the Easter eggs. That does pretty well on his channel, admittedly. But I didn't see a ton of positive. Even if there was a ton of positive and negative on YouTube, people didn't watch the fucking show. They just talked about it. So I don't know how that's adding to this. Spider-Man No Way Home should be the most talked about thing. It's really, really far up there because it was a good movie. It was a good, entertaining movie. People were talking about it. If you go to, it's hard to find them now, but there was reactions to at like Andrew Garfield saving MJ and stuff, and people cheering in the theater. That's the positive engagement that everybody should be looking for. Absolutely. We made a good story. There's a point in the story that got the audience to fucking cheer. I mean, scream at the top of their fucking lungs. And then that video gets put up. That's what made Game of Thrones. It wasn't cheering. It was like gasping at the fucking Red Wedding or something like that. Kind of interaction. It's positive interaction. You were getting that from House of the Dragon. You were memeing the show positively, the Ben Affleck meme of Viserys, smoking, going, my fucking family. That's funny. That's funny, but it's not making fun of the show. Now, on the opposite end of that is Rings of Power, where it was just getting memed to fucking death because it was so fucking bad. That's not the interaction you want. So you got the marketing directors going, well, they're not parsing out what type of interaction it is. That's where you don't understand. And there's no fucking pie chart for that. Sorry. You have to actually watch this shit. You have to understand it. You have to read it.
You got to be amongst the nerds and be able to feel the winds, which way they're blowing. You can't, you can't just be like, oh yeah, all interaction is good interaction. No way.
No fucking way. Still, okay, let me, there's a lot of content, but does it translate to consumer? I fucking hate that word, engagement. Per tubular, although there are plenty of MCU consumers. MCU earns 16.7 likes/comments per 1,000. Not the highest in the top 10 franchise we surveyed. Most people don't like the video. I'd love it if you'd like this one, though. But most people don't. It's okay.
Does help. It really does.
Does really know help, though. On the highest in the top 10 franchises we surveyed, Harry Potter tops engagement rates at 25.2 per 1,000 likes, which Warner Brothers, JK, people really like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You probably should make more of it. You just should. JK should probably write some more books. They should make some more movies, because unless she doesn't have it anymore, I don't know, but like, you should at least try, because it's pretty fucking popular. It's pretty fucking popular. Top engagement rates, The Walking Dead, which I just don't see that. Maybe a few years ago, but clearly, didn't they just have a finale? Didn't they just end the show?
Yeah, they ended it. They had Hunger Games on this list. I don't understand that.
It was really popular for a while.
There's Hunger Games on here.
But that's years ago. That's like, we're talking, how long was Hunger Games, folks? Was it 8 years ago? 7 years ago?
8 years ago is probably around it. Yeah, I was gonna say 10 at its peak.
Still, Still, the might of the MCU's presence on YouTube cannot be denied. With viewership largely MTV movies/TV. Why did I say MTV? Wow. Related at 36% of the views, and fan skits, recreations, parodies among the close second at 28%. Those jumping in lean male 67%, and from the US 40% fan views show steady growth, ladies, over the evaluated period, spiking from 6.8 billion to 11.1 billion from November 2021 to January 2022, which was COVID though. And I promise you, the conversation about the fucking Eternals, if there was one, was 80% negative. Even for the Marvel stands, could not fight that one off. They couldn't. What's the critics?
I like how they put Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home at the same time, as if they're on the same level.
Oh, and the Hawkeye TV show, you can just forget the fucking Eternals and Hawkeye. All the conversation was about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like even people who are interested, like financially like Mahler could have made a Hawkeye video and it would have gotten millions of views. He was like, I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. And that's why people like Mahler, because he's honest. He's just like, I have two shits to give about this show. You know, I'm just going to go make 97 live streams about God of War now, because that's why we love Mahler.
That's what he's into right now.
So, yeah, he's probably currently live streaming as we speak.
I think he is.
Unlike some fandoms, the views have not fallen back down to 2019 levels, and the MCU continues with monthly views in the 8 digits, solidly at the top of the heap. Again, there's a lot of us talking about how shitty it is. Is that factored in? Nope. Nope. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to go over this whole fucking chart because it bores the shit out.
Breakdown by category.
Here's what the DCEU is. Everybody loves the backup quarterback. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, as fucking bad as Warner Brothers has been, Superman is still a sellable thing. Batman is still a sellable thing. Wonder Woman, you haven't completely destroyed your fucking franchise by, well, they did kill off Superman, but they brought him back. Right? In true comic book fashion. And inexplicably, you made Aquaman, that quite frankly doesn't look anything like Aquaman, but at least the costume was right. At least it was Arthur Curry. At least they got the origins right. At least it's Atlantis. So that they did a great job, man. Made $1 billion fucking dollars. Can't deny that. The Batman, I think, did well despite being like 7 out of 10. Bad ending. I don't know. Did you like the Batman, Chris Gore?
I like the first 2/3. The last third kind of ruined it. And also, we're not even really talking about it, are we? We're not. It didn't provoke any extended conversations. I liked the feel of the first part of it. I thought, oh, this is Batman. This is early stages Batman figuring stuff out. But once that stupid line that Catwoman said, what was it? Let's take down these white privilege fuckers or motherfuckers, whatever it was. It's a stupid line. It was unnecessary. It took me out of the movie, and I didn't care after that. And then when they went all incel on the Riddlers and incel, like, this is so do you realize how many movies the incel or incel type of character is the bad guy at the end of the movie? Everything from She-Hulk to like fucking everything these days. It's
The Boys.
It's you know what it is? It's tiresome, it's lazy, and it's an indirect way to attack members of the audience. Like, look, Gary, I've been going to comic book stores, been around nerd culture since I was a kid, since my dad dragged me to the Detroit Auto Show, and they had one room showing episodes of Star Trek and whatnot, like on 16 millimeter, and they sold comic books, right? It was just like this weird side thing. And I've known people in the space of nerddom. There are people at various levels of being able to cope with everyday life. Okay. And those are my people. I just, and to me, it's like, I just don't like that. So yeah, the Batman, I just was like, okay, that's a really interesting take. Maybe it's a oneer like Joker, although Joker's spawning a sequel. but I do believe that the Batman underperformed. And I think unless it's part of some cohesive plan, are they making 3? Are they telling a larger story? I mean, there was that deleted scene. I'm sure you saw it, Gary, with the Joker. Yeah. It's a terrible take. That was
very bad Joker.
It was awful.
Yeah, it was awful.
Jared Leto's Joker at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, way more interesting than that. I'll just come out. I'll just come out and say it. More fucking interesting. And I have watched the Snyder Cut. I've watched the Batman twice, and I've watched the Snyder Cut like 5 times. So, you know, I just, because like, quite frankly, we don't have anything else. And there's like pieces of stuff that I really love. And I like Henry Cavill's Superman. I like Ben Affleck's Batman. But Jared Leto is a nut. He's like a stone cold fucking nut. And I think he's probably pretty good for Joker. Just don't put a bunch of fucking tattoos and a grill on him. Okay. Make him look like the Joker.
Actually give him something to do. That was what kind of, it was like, I don't like the take in Suicide Squad. I don't like the way he looks, but he could have been interesting if they gave him something in the movie to do.
Well, especially they cut out what he was going to
cut out a bunch of
which
stuff.
Would have been the interesting part, where he starts dealing with Enchantress and gets offered to be the king of Gotham. And does some more fucked up things at the end. There's a bunch of stuff that they cut out. You know, I definitely would love to. It's going to make Mikey happy. I want to see that Ader cut. I do.
I'd like to see it.
I would too. I'd also like to see a sequel to Bright. Probably never happened, but you know, you never know. Will Smith, his fucking slap ruined everything.
It really did, man.
But my video did well on that. I couldn't believe, like, I was texting Ryan. I think it was Ryan. Yeah, because Ryan knows about everything like before everybody. But like I was watching it live and I didn't even have time to screen record. I just pulled up my phone and like, I can't believe that just happened. And it was real, because I knew it was real when they muted the sound. When they muted the sound afterwards, I'm like, oh shit. Oh damn. Wow.
We were doing we were doing a live stream live when it happened, as came on. It was kind of crazy. It was me, Alan, a bunch of other people, and we didn't know it was happening. We had to kind of like figure it out, and then went on the internet. And of course, we found all the videos of what actually happened. It was
like during the commercial break.
Shocking.
I know. I ran down to my wife. I'm like, "Do you see that?" She's like, "No," and she's like, "What the fuck?" And my first instinct was like, Will. I mean, the mask just came off of Will, and then, you know, in a strange way, I felt kind of bad for the guy, because I'm like, oh, he's in a shitty relationship. His wife fucking with this head, and now he looks like the bad guy, and maybe he always was. I've always heard that, like, it's like with every actor, it's a fucking act. It's all an act. And then more videos came out, more stuff came out, and then his apology was shit to Chris Rock. You know,
and it really kind of showed you how dead the Hollywood star is, because whenever you saw that behind, like whenever Jada Pinkett had him on her phone and he was going, social media is my bread and butter, you go, whoa, what? I thought you were a movie star.
Yeah, but apparently not, because with endorsement deals, it's social media, and those endorsement deals, which you're going to find out if the details of the Tom Brady and Giselle divorce come out, if they have any money left after that crypto scam, that why Giselle has like so much, like, is richer than Tom Brady, and it was endorsements for years and years and years. And he might have caught up, but like in the beginning, she was much richer than he was because of endorsement deals, which is through social media. So yeah, you're not even getting like the big bucks. Remember, Chris, it was 10 years ago. It was like 10 or 15 years ago when there were still movie stars, but everybody was getting like 10, 20 million a movie.
Oh, crazy. Like
nuts.
Cable guy kind of broke it, like with Jim Carrey. Like, it's weird. Now you don't hear that much anymore. And I will say this, God, I was talking to a bunch of people at a party the other night. Like, everyone is making less money than they've ever made in entertainment. I talked to a friend who's a showrunner on a show for Peacock, and it's like, it just pays like a normal job. It's not like, you think just because you're in Hollywood, you're making a ton of money. They're not. You're not. It's just basically like it's good pay, but it's not change your life money. It's because the pie, because the pie has been broken up into tinier and tinier slivers where there's not a big mainstream audience for things, which you can justify paying a lot for something when that's the case. But yeah, you're showrunner on a show for a streaming service, you're probably making, a regular amount of money, and you probably still live in an apartment in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I didn't, Gina, if you're out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she say she was making like for her appearances on The Mandalorian, like between 30 and 50,000 an episode?
Yeah.
So, I think that was a
lot to me, to you, but in the vast scheme of Hollywood, that's not a lot.
No, she takes home about half of that because you've got your agents and managers get their cut. You've got taxes and fees and whatnot. So take that figure. The take home is almost half.
Okay. And now compare that to Minecraft Girl, who's making $200,000 a month.
Yeah.
And there are 1,000 of her, think of what Mr. Beast makes. It's insane. It's insane. And that's where your future is. And that's why I think somebody asked me on, I think it was a real BBC, like I'm an actor, and I just said, hit social media, follow Clifton Duncan, do what Clifton Duncan is doing. Okay. He is a legitimate actor. Okay. He's been trained. He's very good at it. And he lost his life because he refused to take the freaking jab, and he ended up being right. But like he moved into the Twitter sphere and then the podcast sphere, and that's where he belongs. That's honestly where his calling is. Because like he's really good in that sphere. And that's why I told him, I'm like, dude, this is your calling. And it's a higher calling, I think. So that's who you would emulate, and he can still go act. Like someday, I hope there's a world where he will start getting roles again, but he's got his home base with his podcast and his thing, and then he can just go act on the side, and it might be more freeing that way. It just might, and it might turn out better.
Yeah, he's not relying on it. He could do things that he loves to do.
Yep. Being your own boss is like, we were talking about that with the completionist on G4. It's like, why did that guy go to G4? What's he doing? It's crazy. I don't understand.
I mean, he already had a built-up audience. He had a built-up channel working fine, and then he signs a deal with corporate. And maybe he had like rose-tinted glasses and was like, oh, G4, I remember G4. I'd love to be a part of that.
Maybe they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Maybe there was a lot of money in there. I don't know. I hope he survives it, though, because now you see the pitfalls of like you get that big payday, and that's great, but you were your own boss, essentially. Why would you want to put yourself at the mercy of somebody else, at the mercy of fucking Frosk? Crazy. So, yeah, this is fucking too long. Did not read. I don't care about Transformers #4. Star Wars is #3. Jurassic, but Harry Potter. But it doesn't get like, it breaks down a pie chart. You're not seeing it now, but it like what we do is review, reaction, analysis, right? Well, they separate that, and analysis gets like 11% of the movie and TV interaction there. Well, what's that? Like Mahler would be analysis. I wouldn't call him reaction. It's review and analysis. So where do you put that there? And we're not the majority. Like the majority are fan edits, fan edited trailers and stuff like that. But you can't, it's fun to watch, but people are just doing that for fun, which is great. We need that. We definitely need that. But you're not making any money. ASMR, 0.3%. Apparently, there's some ASMR MCU content out there. I don't know what the fuck it could be.
Didn't know that.
I like the Hulk. The Hulk. Yes.
Yeah.
Weirdest shit. But yeah, it breaks it down by category, and there's analysis right there, 11%, and review and reaction is like 2.8%. But you can easily conflate those.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of reviews are analysis.
Well, most, I would say half of our channel's analysis, right?
Yeah.
Like we review stuff when it comes out. It was pretty dry there for a while. I don't know how the fuck we survived COVID, dude. I would
say like I'd say all of it is pretty like we don't hit. Are they talking about review like at the end of it going and it's a 3 out of 5?
Yeah,
all we do is like go through it step by step and say that it's bad or it's good.
Yeah, I don't
know what the difference is between analysis and your review here.
I'll tell you what got through the first part of COVID: Snowflake and Safe Space.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Snowflake and Safe Space. Holy shit. That happened right at the beginning of COVID in San Francisco. Anyway, San Francisco, I'll never forget. San Francisco shut down March 16th, 2020. That's the day it shut down. That's the day everybody's life changed, at least in that area. It was crazy.
What a time.
I'm so happy I'm in Texas. Oh my God, it's so great here, Chris.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great over here?
I would love to move to Texas.
Hey,
it's like teasing.
Come on.
Come on down.
One day. Garrett, you wanna adopt 2 more kids that are technically older than you?
Yeah.
Shake from Hunger Team has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you, Shake. You're awesome, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
Really good to see you when we return to Vegas. We'll have a Vegas. We're going to have, I guess, our tour dates. So we'll have them at the beginning of next year because we have to coordinate a lot.
We're trying to plan it out a little better.
We are going
a plan? What?
We are going to the UK. We're going to Vegas, and we'll be at Orlando. That's the 3 I know for sure. Vegas, Orlando, UK. We just got to coordinate the Orlando thing to where it doesn't get too close to the UK thing. Vegas, I might move from August to earlier, so you're not dying in the heat. It'll still be summer, though. It'll be just like early summer.
Trying to make it easier on people so they don't have to choose. Because last year, I heard so many people saying, "Oh, I'm not going to Vegas because I can't afford both Vegas and Orlando, and vice versa." So we're trying to make it separate so people can, recoup and come back. Because I want to see it every single time.
The one thing Vegas has that Orlando doesn't is cheap ass hotels. There are some cheap ass hotels.
That's true.
In Vegas, and I stayed in them. I love telling the story that I stayed in a $25 a night hotel with blood stains on the fucking.
Ew,
man.
No.
I brought my own sheet that I put over the bed. That's all I did.
No.
I brought a sleeping bag. That's whatever. I was in my 20s. I had no fucking money, and I didn't give a fuck. So, Ether Zone. Ether Zone. $20. Ether? Is it? Oh, Ether Zone. That makes way more sense. For $20. Thank you. Hail Nerdrotic Team, a longtime listener, first time super chatter. Oh,
hey.
Castlevania director was supposed to get a Berserk series, but I fear they would make Guts have relationships with women and sex with men. Thank you for the entertainment. Castlevania started out, and thank you for the $20. Castlevania started out really good. Like the first 2 seasons, pretty fucking dope. On Netflix, I will say. I reviewed some of it on this channel a long time ago. Olsen twins made $40,000 for a 30-minute episode of Full House. Morford Clark made $20,000 for an hour episode, says Rush Paps for $19.99. Per episode? Is it per episode? I mean, $40,000 for 25 episodes is fucking good. But Gina, who, let's be real, she brought in more boys to the yard to fucking Mandalorian than anybody. Yoda brought the girls, Gina brought the boys. And
Mandalorian was just there.
And Mandalorian was just fucking there. And yeah, she should have gotten more money. But oh well. Aren't we getting season 3 of The Mandalorian soon?
I can check.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't care. I don't care about Star Wars. Sorry. I'm so against black pills. And if you care about Star Wars and you're still fighting that fight, make content. Make content. Watch it. Make content. Absolutely. Don't give
February next year.
February. So February is going to
really?
be crazy because we have Picard season 3 and Mandalorian happening. I'm definitely going to season 3, and we'll see if Robert Meyer Burnett is right. The showrunner from 12 Monkeys is supposedly running Picard season 3 without any interference. I will believe that when I see it.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
how many times I've heard, it's going to be good next time.
But I did like 12 Monkeys. I thought it was a good series. I thought it was fun. Back when like you could be sexy. I'm forgetting her name now, but the blonde girl dressed up as like a sexy Nazi.
What?
Yeah, it's funny. You can do shit like that. It was good. Geek Chat for $5 says, whatever happened to the trial of Star Wars, Chris Gore? He's muted right now. He's getting more coffee.
More coffee.
We'll be back to that.
We'll be back to that. That remind me to get Viva Nerdrotic says Daniel Thompson for 125 Mexican dollars. We'll call them Mexican dollars. We have pesos.
It's Telecanian pesos.
Telecanian?
Telecanian. Namor.
I need to add some more R's to my
Wakanda Forever had a 73% drop off on Monday. Worse of a drop off from Sunday to Monday than Doctor Strange and Thor: Love and Thunder. Not very good. Baby boy Ryan, who just had a birthday, did a video on it. Go watch it. I think it's something we got to watch. I think, as is right, I think 65 to 70% drop off.
Ooh.
It's just not very good. Like, do you feel like however people felt about Black Panther, when it came out, it was a cultural phenomenon. People were going fucking nuts for it. And it only had a 45% drop off on the second week. That's insane. The only thing that I think beat it didn't Spider-Man? No, Spider-Man. Did No Way Home have a big drop offs? No,
it had
Maverick had a 31% drop off on its second week. That's
that's really
insane. That's insane. So yeah. Gary, any news on that Flagrant Triggers FNT jacket? Will it ever be going on sale? I have wanted it ever since I saw X-Ray Girl showing it off on Twitter.
I think they're in talks right now about it.
We're in talks. In other words, Melissa.
Melissa's working on it.
Melissa and them are working it out.
We'll work it out because she handles that stuff. But she also has been, she deals with household stuff, kids, going to Wisconsin. Gonna abandon me again.
Wow.
I just get abandoned all the time, dude.
But we want it out. Like I really want one. So
yeah, it'll happen. It's just we gotta figure out like how to make it, how to distribute it, stuff like that. It will definitely happen.
Plus, like the cool customization. So they're just gotta figure the details.
Yep. Chris, you back?
I'm back, man.
Okay, so Geek Chat 1 for $5. Thank you. Says, whatever happened to the trial of Star Wars, Chris Gore?
That's something that we wanted to do on our channel. We talked about doing it during Kenobi. And it's just, I plan to do it. We'll probably do it when Mandalorian season 3 comes out, to time to that, because Andor just has no interest with people. So,
yeah.
And also I had to finish my movie. It was really just me trying to do too many things. Gary, we've all been there. So I had to finish my movie. That was the priority. So I finished the movie. Now we've submitted it to festivals. we're waiting to hear back. And then, and we started a third show called Versus, where we once a month fight about certain types of movies. Anyways, yes, that is something that when Mandalorian season 3 comes out, we will bring that back. We want to bring people on to argue this as a real court case. We even have like sketch artists and stuff. Like we have a whole we have everything we need to do the show, except the only thing I don't have is time. So I will make the time when season 3 comes out of Mandalorian. When is that? I'm gonna look that up.
February.
Perfect. We will do it then. Because then I think people will, because I really think that interest in Star Wars, like you talked about it, Gary, like people just, and I'm in that way, and now I'm apathetic. The only thing that gets me angry is what the sequels could have been, and how really, I don't know who was in that writer room, but I would have fired everybody. Like after the first movie, I would have fired everybody. And
Agreed.
I falsely believed, because of The Last Jedi, like, oh, maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe this is going to lead to and when we heard the title Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it's all going to make sense why they made these choices. And I was completely wrong.
Nope.
Happy to admit it, sad that I have to admit it, but I also think it's part of why we still talk about Star Wars. Like we don't talk about, and this is not a bad thing, we don't talk about Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy all that often, because we love it so much, like so much about that trilogy is successful, from just the score to, the different extended editions. It felt like one of us made the movie, right? Like Peter Jackson, just such reverence for the material, such a beloved,
he gets it.
Yeah.
He understands.
He has affection towards fans, right? Like, because he's one of them. And so we don't talk about it that much. We talk about the things that failed almost as a sort of therapy in a way, right? Like that's why I think Star Wars comes up so much, because it began with such promise and has failed on so many levels, yet it's the thing that probably most impacted a lot of us,
Well, that's one of the reasons I met, and talked to Gary, is because of the fall of Game of Thrones, something I love so much. Right. And I got into the lore and all that. And then it completely shit the bed. And I had to go find somebody else that understood my point of view. And then I was like, oh, look, Gary's streaming. Who is this? I clicked on it. And I was like, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about. So it's like, that's what kind of brought us all together, were these things that we loved getting messed up, and we needed to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah. And, when our wives got tired of listening to us.
Right.
That's 100% true.
Kind of hear about Luke Skywalker again.
C-Match for $20. Hi, Gary. Just wondering if you ever got my Shakti Sideshow premium format statue I sent you. I know it was Star Wars, but it was Star Wars from pre-Disney era, Star Wars era. Yes, I did. It is currently waiting to be placed into the Walls of Wonder, because I needed to make space for that and another statue. But if I remember correctly, you worked on that statue, or you did some sort of painting on it. Thank you. It's freaking beautiful. So it will be in here. It'll be one of the very few Star Wars. There are some Star Wars things in here. I have the AFI DVD set of George Lucas tribute. Remember that, Chris Gore? So that was a gift bag at the AFI tribute that you got under your seat. And one of my friends went and then gave it to my wife, who gave it to me for a birthday present. So that's here. I have the Star Wars game. I have one Star Wars figure I kept, and it's a little Jawa. But it's the hard to find Jawa. It's not the one with the cloth. It's the one with the vinyl.
Oh, the vinyl cape. Oh man.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of Star Wars things. Yeah.
I have one of those.
Yeah, they're hard to find. I had the hardest one to find. I had Boba Fett with the. I also had silver boots. But I gave away my Star Wars figures that I kept from when I was a kid, and they survived homelessness, drug fucking runs, everything. They survived. When I had a Patreon, I gave them to all my patrons. After I was like, I'm fucking done with Star Wars. But thank you so much. The statue is gorgeous, and it will be in here, and I will take a picture of it, and it will go on Instagram once it's displayed beautifully. Thank you again. You guys are so awesome. You send me nice cards and letters. They get read. I read them all. I read a bunch yesterday that were really nice. Really nice.
We got a really great letter at the Orlando meetup. And,
yeah.
It was very long, but I read the whole thing and it was beautiful.
Yep. It's freaking awesome. It makes this real, you know, those meetups and the letters and everything make it, because right now I see my friends here and I see you in the chat, but I also see the inside of this office a lot. So to go out and interact and see you guys, to know that like this thing is real. And then also to hear, and this is thanks to you, this has zero to do with me. I hear that Amazon's really upset. The MCU, Marvel really hates the term the MCU.
Oh, really?
I know, it's weird. It's great. It's great. That's the power of you. That is like this shit working. It's like it doesn't work as fast as we'd like. It doesn't. And I don't know if we're going to save jack shit, but we got to try. Okay.
You got to make a T-shirt, the MCU.
I think we should.
Why is there not a T-shirt? I'm going to LA Comic-Con beginning of December. God, I would love a shirt that just said the MCU.
Okay. And I might meet you there.
Oh, do you need a badge?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll go.
Gotta do all that.
We don't have to wear a mask, so I'll go.
Yeah, no, it's great. Okay.
No, I'm definitely coming out SoCal, dude. So I want to have lunch. I want to see if RMB will come out. I don't know where he lives, but I'll drive to him. I'll drive to you guys. Yeah, like I'll come up from San Diego and I want to have lunch and hang out. Hang out in SoCal. Enjoy some of that $9 gas and then not miss it when I leave. Like, I'm going to visit my mom. I haven't seen my mom in a long time, so I miss my mom. Here is a share of the money. You all saved me. Shout out for Chris. Shout out for Chris and his channel. Introduced me to some great independent filmmakers still trying to figure out Silent River. Danger UXO, thank you for the $50. Silent River, what's up with that?
It's a horror film, and I don't know if I saw that one, because we have like we get so many movies submitted for review that we have a team, right? So I talk about the movies I've seen. Today on the show, we're going to talk about Babylon, which Alan saw. I saw Glass Onion a couple nights ago. That's the Rian Johnson follow-up to Knives Out.
Oh, how is it?
Yes.
Not as good as the first one. And he explicitly does tell you that Daniel Craig's character is gay.
Oh.
Doesn't tie into the story, doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Figured that out, just the way he played him, but
right. But also, like, who cares? It's just like,
Oh man, who cares?
I'm gay. I'm not going to have any sex or relationship, and it's not going to mean anything to the story. ESG, check.
Check. But it's entertaining as hell. Ed Norton's in it. He plays a great asshole. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's come up with like this like, I can see this being a franchise. And I love, like, murder mystery things are interesting, right? Like, they're entertaining as hell. And it's, you know, and it what's funny is I'm surprised how much it just makes fun of wokeness. Like, a lot of the characters like, oh, that's so woke. So what, like they actually explicitly say, it's funny. The movie kind of has it both ways. Like, the movie is woke, but not to a degree that's super annoying at all. At the same time, it makes fun of wokeness in the movie. So that
one of the things, though, is they'll have a villain or somebody that the movie sees as a bad character, a bad person, say things that are woke. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, that's so woke," and it's coming from a character that the movie goes, "This is a bad person. This is what bad people say." So I wonder if, because he did that in the first movie.
Yeah, he did, and from what I know of it, and I just know by the end of this, Netflix is going to greatly regret giving the guy almost $500 million, dude.
Yes.
$465 million to make to make a franchise. But I don't think like with Jar Jar Abrams with the $500 million from Warner Brothers, I don't think they get all that money up front. I think they have to actually produce some shit before they get the rest of it. Okay. So that's probably why you're seeing all the Jar Jar stuff getting canceled at Warner Brothers. Man, get that axe out, Zaslav. You want to be a hero to all the fandom? just publicly fire Jar Jar Abrams and embarrass him too. Because I would like,
beautiful.
$500 million fucking dollars. He didn't do shit. He didn't do fucking shit for us. I would just go out and say it. Like, what do you care? Like, you're gonna insult Jar Jar Abrams? You're not gonna get another bad TV show or bad movie. You'd be better off. But with Rianne Johnson, yeah, shut the fuck up and make your little murder mysteries, and nobody's gonna. Yeah, then you won't have to deal with the man baby's big head. The problem that you created yourself, by the way. And then he took a bunch of credit. Ooh, I don't know if I should say this. He took a bunch of credit for stuff he didn't write, and he shouldn't have taken credit for it because it was the story group. Because it was the fucking story group. Last Jedi story group.
Oh,
The
really?
shitty fucking story group. Not all, not 100%, but some. A lot of stuff introduced by story group. But Ryan's like, no, I wrote it all. First draft. Because he's fucking egomaniac. But a lot of people say he's cool.
I've met him. He comes from indie film. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think that like people turn into assholes on Twitter. I think that they just do. And I saw some of his posts. I'm like, why are you even engaging in this conversation? So I just don't know why. Like, what is it in someone's mind? Like going after like people that, and like, I don't know. I just, you know, it's just bizarre.
No, it's James Mangold. Like the dude's like one of the few like legit directors left in Hollywood. Like he's got, doesn't have a particular style, but he's versatile and he's made some fucking like Walk the Line is the shit.
Yeah,
it's a great movie, dude. 310 to Yuma. Like he's done some really good shit. Logan, the Wolverine. The guy's a very good director. If there's anybody who I thought could maybe take on and make a decent Indiana Jones, it might have been him. But man, he turned into a little bitch on Twitter.
It's unnecessary. I don't know why there's not training at like film studios or entertainment
like a
companies.
PR training system.
Like look, here's the do's and don'ts. And like I don't know that. It just seems so obvious to me, right? Like don't do that. That's gonna alienate people. That's gonna end up being an article. It's gonna end up being just do the work, man. But it sounds like
unfortunately you can't just be a regular person on Twitter because you're a creative that makes content for mass audiences. So you can't just go out there and start trashing people. Like it's just not a good look, bro. Like I guess don't be a director if you want to go out there and trash people. Jason,
the mostly average for $10 says Star Wars Force Awakens was the beginning of the end of my marriage for 10 years. I thought it sucked. She loved it. Oh, and she turned out to be a biatch. B to the itch. Well,
red flag.
Got to get that first one out of the way. That first marriage out of the way. So you know what a bad one is. That's the way I see it. The way I see it. I've been divorced. Best money ever spent. Max Power. It was a lot, dude. Oh.
No.
Yeah. That hurt for a long time because I was young. Didn't have a ton of money. Lived paycheck to paycheck. Bullying multi-billion-dollar corporations will never not be funny. Keep up the great work, Carrie. And $22. Yeah. And I gotta admit, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, Max. All right, we need to go. Chris has a live stream.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. We love you guys. Thank you for everyone who left a super chat and donation. Thank you to the Modrotics. We will be back next Wednesday with Chris Gore. We have Friday Night Tights with Papa Gundam. Right?
Yeah.
Then we follow. Don't worry. I can bless you. Was that your little X-ray girl sneeze?
I silenced myself for it.
Okay, so we got Papa Gundam this week and Count Dankula next week.
Oh wow.
Dang.
What a couple of weeks. So fired up. And Shad will probably come in at some point. So Shad will be there. Like he hasn't gone away yet. It's turning into
no, he's still sticking around.
He's never leaving.
I
We're
love
keeping you,
Shad,
Shad.
man.
We love Shad. So Chris, you got anything you'd like to tell us about?
I will be at LA Comic-Con the first weekend of December, and Gary might be there. I'm doing 3 panels. I'm doing a panel called Future Indies You Must See. We just laugh and look at weird indie film trailers. Then I'm doing a panel called Why 99% of Movies Today Are Garbage, kind of based on a video I did for Film Courage. And if you want to, Gary, hop on the panel. And then I'm going to be doing a special panel about Attack of the Doc and G4 TV, a very special panel. It's kind of a secret thing if you're there. But today I'm also doing my live stream in like 25 minutes, and I was making lunch while I was muted. So there you go.
So the people
you know how to do it right.
LA Comic-Con, this is the former Kamikaze, the Stan Lee one. Yeah.
Formerly
Okay. So
Stanley's Kamikaze, LA
Yeah.
Comic-Con. My understanding is no masks. It's it's not San Diego, but it's a lot of fun. There's a great sort of vibe in the lobby. There's a lot of good walkable restaurants down there. It's not San Diego though. It's downtown LA. So walk over the town.
Okay. Yeah.
At your own risk.
Dude, do not follow the homeless guy where he's going to tell you where to park. Just don't do that. And don't bring any valuables to leave in your car. Just because it's downtown LA, bro. Woo. I might make some content down there. Maybe I'll go drive through Skid Row.
Ew.
You see, I fill my car full of trash to get people to not break into my car.
There you go.
Plan. I drive a crappy car with trash in it.
No, you know what
San
San Francisco started doing? San Francisco started leaving the windows open and nothing in
Oh
there.
yeah.
Wow.
I
People
saw
look at
articles
Seth
about that.
Rogen whenever he was like, "Hey, I get my car broken into 18 times a week. It's no big deal. I'm
Normal.
used to it."
It's so ridiculous.
We can't afford that. Not all of us.
Yeah. But anyways, I hope you make it, Gary. And we'll have a fun live stream today. I have the director, Patrick Reed Johnson from 52577 is joining us at the end of the show. And so
good.
Oh, cool.
And then we're just, we're going to talk about, Alan and I are going to talk about movies we've seen recently. Dante James is joining us. We're going to keep talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There's lots to discuss. So should
You
be
mean
fun
the Namor show?
The
That's
Namor
what I
movie.
call it.
Oh,
I call it the
see you
Namor
found
movie.
the R's.
Yes,
Right.
I added some more I needed to roll those R's.
Namor.
Namor.
What do you got coming up, QBG, besides editing my next video? Whenever
Tonight, I'm going to do a live stream. Just going to chill on my channel. Probably going to talk about the FTX thing. I'm going to do a deep dive on that.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
It's one of those mysteries to me that I need to figure out. So we're going to hang out tonight and talk about it.
It ain't a mystery.
Oh yeah. I need to
my God.
unravel it.
Yeah, the conspiracies. I could come up with that one. I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And then after that, we're going to be over on my locals and stream the game Forgotten City.
Oh,
It's pretty fun. So I'll see you there.
How about you, X-Ray Girl?
I was thinking about doing more of my puzzle. So
Get drunk and make a puzzle.
Yeah, it's fun. And then on Rumble, I'll be gaming at 6, and then Poor Choices at 9. And if you haven't gotten your Hot D shirt yet, flagranttriggers.com, you can get House of the Dragon sort of esque shirt, Hot D, where I'm riding a dragon with the Dark Sister sword, and all my profits are going to be going towards people affected by prostate cancer. So get a shirt, get a phallic dragon on your chest. Az has one.
Yeah,
or 3, I hear.
Gotten it yet?
I haven't got mine either.
Get that
but,
Hot D.
Yeah, get my Hot D on your chest. That is weird to say out loud, but yeah, do it.
It's great.
And help prostates everywhere.
Yes, we love prostates in this world. I think.
You?
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, we like working prostates.
FYI, no notification, and you're not on my homepage. Have to get back, but much love to all. May Hollywood be reap what they made sown. Yeah, that happened. It's happening again. Right around midterm election time, they're starting to ghost fucking live streams again. What a shock!
Wow.
That happened to our paranormal live stream Sunday. 9 p.m. talking
Hell
about
yeah.
Apocalypse. So if you haven't watched it, we're going to talk about it all over again. And we're going to watch the rest of the series. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it got demonetized. It got hidden.
Wow.
So Rumble, I'm ready to talk when it comes to this paranormal show. I'm ready to talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to do something. Like, so I'll still keep it on YouTube, but like, needs to be an alternative.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, this is mainly to be a podcast anyway. So like, look at it as a live podcast recording. Thank you, Lady Greymaster, for $10. Love you.
Love you, Lady.
Love you.
Hey, for the people who found it, there was a lot. Thank you. Thank you for finding it.
We had a blast.
We had a good time. We love you guys. And we will see you next time. Oh, I will be on Open Bar for a couple hours tomorrow. And that's after I interview with
Blabs.
With Blabs.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be Blabs, then Open Bar, making a video, all kinds of stuff going on. Friday Night Tights. And I got a video out, just released a couple days ago. So it's doing really well. So thanks. Appreciate you all. And we'll see you next time. Ciao, Bella.